All right, we are here. All right, hopefully, audio should be good. I hope. Let's see. Just before we get into it, uh, audio test for Aztec to see if everything's good.
Testing.
There
One,
we
two,
are.
three.
We
Testing.
are. We are good.
Hopefully,
We are good. We
right.
got this working. So, how's it going, everyone? This is Imperial and Aztec here, back with the Team Cola podcast. So,
The owl is here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode one. And yes, episode one, because this is technically my first episode. The two times I've been in broadcast episodes, though I consider those
back in the day.
pilots, but this is episode one.
Yeah. This
Uh,
is this is
never
this
been
is
here on.
episode one of Aztec coming into the series. He might come in more often. We'll see. We'll see what happens down the line because I have many ideas for return cast coming back in the podcast down the line. And that is
Yep.
actually something that will be happening next month. So stay tuned for that one when that happens. So we do have two members in the past coming back together, which will be very interesting. So
Nice.
yeah, but this episode's obviously about Aztec, and you guys probably know him in some of my streams if you come around every so
Of
often. He's
course.
always usually around. So
But, but for those who don't know, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aztec, obviously the Aztec Owl. I've been called many names in the past, Mr. Video Game, Racing Under the Racing Action Vlogger, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But
yeah,
now the Aztec Owl is what people should call me now, because like those two names are old. Like, I mean, I know people get used to those names, but like,
yeah,
who gives a shit? My real name is Abdul. Obviously, I can't spell out my whole name because like
yeah,
fucking, I'm gonna have to deal with people actually pronouncing my name wrong in Arabic, but they don't even know how to pronounce it. But anyways, I'm 19 years old. I'm almost hitting 20 years of age. Pretty much,
damn,
I'm nearly in my 20s and shit like that. I am a gamer, pretty much from the headphones, from
yeah,
the PS4 controller and everything. Yeah, and just PS4 because I don't have a Xbox One. I don't have an Xbox or even a gaming PC yet
yeah,
because I'm almost having a job later this year, and also, inshallah, pretty much just working on my physicals and everything.
yeah,
Might even learn how to fight, even learn how to drive and shit, and go back into the YouTube scene where I'll be editing videos and make my own music and all this crap.
yeah.
So all that is to come in my life if I ever fucking do. Like let's face it, man, I'm kind of lazy. But enough about that. Now you guys know who I am. If not, you're confused. That's okay. You'll get to know me again in the next episode or whatnot. So
whenever we have another episode, we might have more stories to tell. So yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
But I think in this episode, like, we'll probably focus on a bit of the backstory, probably, of Aztec, like, as a person, like, how you sort of got into the scene of YouTube or into even Twitch streaming coming in or anything like that. But let's start
Right.
off. Let's start off probably, I guess, where your passion for gaming itself came from, because I want to know a bit about that, and I think the audience might want
Okay.
to know a bit about that.
Honestly, at first, I think it all started with the Game Boy, right? So pretty much the
Yeah.
Game Boy, everyone played it in the '80s. It was big. I got the advanced version, the SP version, the thing that
Oh yeah.
looks like a flip
Oh yeah, the
thing. It's like
SP.
a flip
Yeah.
SP, the laptop thing. You know the fuck I mean. I've had a
Yeah, the
couple
the flip
games,
one. Yeah.
and yeah, I've had a shit ton of games. Like I've had Sonic Adventure. I think Super Mario at one point, but
Hmm.
I think I've had a Super Mario on Game Boy or something. I don't even know.
Uh,
In other words, I had so many games I don't even know. There's one obscure one that I remember fondly of, Action Man. I
hmm.
remember owning some of the toys and stuff like that. It's all lost in my memory. It's all fresh in my mind and everything.
Hmm.
Uh, And I also remember one distinct memory. I would just write cheat codes on the walls. Like I'd fuck
Ah,
up the house
yeah,
for my family
yeah.
because I didn't have pen and paper. And no, before you say we're not cavemen, okay? A lot of us in the Middle East. But by the way, I forgot to mention I am Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I'm come from Syria, which, in case if you're wondering, it's not at war anymore. It's pretty much coming back in the fold. So that's pretty much yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah. But anyways, a lot of us in the Middle East just live like the rest of the world. Like we have cars, we have
Yeah,
games, we have everything. So, so relax with the theories, guys. Like your answer will come if you ever actually visit the Middle East, like for real,
yeah,
like officially visit the Middle East and see what's going on and whatnot. Anyways, back to the gaming history. So basically, yeah, I had too many games on fucking Game Boy Advance. It
yeah.
then came to the Nintendo Wii, which
Oh yeah,
was memorable, I would say. I had so many good Mario games, so many Mario games, and I also had my fair share of Sonic games. Like I had Mario and Sonic at the bless
thanks. Let's keep going. Yeah,
no problem. All right, let's keep going. All right,
yeah,
so I had Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I had Super Mario Galaxy,
yeah.
Sonic, and the Secret Rings, I believe. I don't know if I own Black and the Black Knight, but like I don't know. It's
Hmm.
just like a disc gaming. And
Yeah.
I also remember fucking Wii Sports. That was a
Oh
fucking
yes, Wii Sports.
in the words of the meme. This is a certified hood classic. So,
Yeah,
so,
it's
like
definite.
it's definitely a hood classic. But I also remember like Wii Music or something. I had
Oh
so many
yeah,
Wii related games and shit.
yeah.
But I didn't have Wii Sport Resort, which is technically the sequel to Wii
Oh
Sports.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know, man.
yeah. That was good. Yeah,
Mm,
it's
pretty much. All right. So and that's pretty much the Nintendo Wii. I also had Need for Speed Nitro, which I
yeah.
consider to be cartoony. Uh, graphics look ass in my opinion. It's what the fuck have you done?
Yeah.
Uh, anyways, moving on. The Xbox 360. That was a treasure, I would say. A treasure. It's a blast from the past. I remember owning Connect games, fucking Split Second, Ridge Racer, I believe. I had Tekken, uh what else did I have? Most Wanted 2012.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll get remastered in terms of the NFS community and shit like
Mm.
that. I don't know. Of course, I hope that all the next gen people, yes, I'm talking about you, PS5,
The
Xbox Series
PS5 and
X
Xbox
owners.
Series
Hope
X
you have
gamers.
fun. Hope you have fucking fun with this game because I'm upset that it's not going to come on PS4 and Xbox One, and the people's like, oh, people should stop making PS4 and Xbox One games. I mean, what else are they going to fucking play? You know what I mean? Like,
True.
no one's going to spend money. No one is going to spend money on another console just to play
Yeah.
another game in the
And a lot of people
series.
still can't get a hold of an Xbox Series X or S or even the
Or a
PS5.
PS5, or even a fucking gaming PC. Hell, from
Yeah.
Corsair, Razer, whatever the fuck, because their prices are huge,
Oh
especially in the
yeah.
Middle East. They'll cost like fucking 15,000 SARs, man.
Damn.
It's like you have to pay your whole rent. You just throw your fucking rent out for like your house and
Yeah.
shit. Like that costs as much as your house, man. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, bruh.
But
Yeah.
anyways, the 360 was a treasure. Like I had dancing games. I've had everything on the 360 at this point.
Yeah. Probably
I had
like
Crash
Guitar
Time as
Hero,
well.
everything probably. Like
Uh, no,
no Guitar Hero?
not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Hmm.
Okay, I didn't have any of the well-known games, but I do have some well-known ones. Okay, so
Yeah.
I have not played Guitar Hero before. I know what you're gonna say. You haven't lived. I haven't lived, but you know what? I feel like trying them out now because I've been missing out on such great games.
Yeah.
So Um, but yeah, man, honestly, it was a good treasure. It was a good treasure, that one. I think I got it after I was doing good at school or something like that.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next console that I've played, the PlayStation 4. Now, this one I've had this for over half a year now,
Yeah.
and it's been a great half year to be honest with you. Having this PS4, I've had it since November 16th, 2018, I think. I don't
Yeah.
remember when I bought this thing. I think 2017, 2016,
Hmm.
whatever the fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, pretty, and yeah, that like I can't even get into whole detail on the PS4, but like I've had like I have my fucking box of games here. I can't go
Yeah.
into all of them. The rest are digital, so you know.
Yeah. But you've got like your like sort of I guess key sort of games that you always like to play, like on PlayStation or anything like that. You've got those key
Yeah,
games that you
obviously.
always are known to play. And
Yeah.
yeah,
But
it's
now comes the real fucking question. What will be my next gaming channel? Will it be PC? Will I still
mm,
ride with PlayStation? Will I come back to Xbox? Will I eventually come back to Nintendo? Like I swear to
yeah.
God, I actually want to switch so
Oh
bad.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like there's
I
a lot
haven't
of good
played it.
Switch games out there. Like they've just announced, well, they've just shown off more stuff on Splatoon 3, which I haven't had a look at yet. But obviously, Splatoon's just one of those games that I think would be. It's a good sort of esports title. It's just good for esports, and like I hope that I do pick up Splatoon 3 at some point. But
Action Man was a rip off of Metal Gear Solid. That's funny. That's funny, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, I've played a rip off of Metal Gear Solid.
there you
Fuck
go.
you. Okay, like honestly, I have nothing against Metal Gear Solid. I wish I could actually go back to the retro days of gaming, like fucking
Yeah, like the
Super
PS2
Nintendo,
and
NES,
PS1.
and everything. Although I
Yeah.
do have a distant memory of I actually tried to play the PS1. Yes, you heard me right. I actually have tried to play on the PS1.
Oh yeah.
I put in Mega Man 8. Doesn't work. So we threw the thing out. Next thing you know, actually, I was in Lebanon, I think.
Hmm.
I don't remember this, but I remember playing the PS2
Yeah.
at a friend's house. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like because I
So,
remember
like,
you told
yeah.
me one time you played Sonic Heroes apparently.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, bro. At a
Yeah.
Syrian internet cafe, fuck yeah, that game was the shit. That game was
Nice.
the shit, dog. Like, and like back home, my great grandmother, God rest her soul, man. Allah yarhamha. Well, my mom's shit. My mom's mother, I think. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
back then we had a computer that's full of games. Like I had fucking like there's this hamster game. Like there's this
Hmm.
hamster game where you just roll around to the finish. You just roll your ball to the finish.
Right.
At least I remember that. There was like volleyball. There was like I think there was Duke Nukem at one point.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice.
Honestly, I wish I had a time machine. I could take myself, you and I, back to my home,
Yeah.
back home to the house that I used to live in back home and shit.
Oh man.
Oh my
And just go
god,
back and
good
play those
time.
old games and yeah, that'd be
See,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah. So that's how that happened. I guess.
but yeah, it's like you've had a pretty in-depth sort of history with gaming, and it's a pretty unique one, I think, in some aspects, considering like the Middle Eastern gaming market would be, I would think, entirely different to
I mean,
like the European
I mean
market
nowadays
or
the I mean nowadays the gaming market is fucking garbage. Like there's
well, yeah,
fucking
yeah,
point.
it's like the
Like
gaming market
like
now. Yeah.
like DLCs are not even available for Middle Eastern users. Like for example, Judgment and Lost Judgment, their DLCs are not available on Middle Eastern accounts. You have to
Yeah.
get it from an American account because like I think I know the problem because there are European versions, Sega Europe LTD shit.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. Great, great. So looks like I'm gonna have to get a fucking US PS4 and start all over again.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like the gaming market nowadays. In some aspects it's gotten better, but in a lot of aspects as well, it's just gotten worse. It's like when you think that like region locking is going to be no longer a thing, or when you think that like oh, it's like you've got some countries that will just go straight up ban certain games. It's like come on,
Nope.
like it's
Saudi
everything just
Arabia
goes
is
worse.
Yep, that's it. And the whole community has been in outrage. So
Yeah.
they literally just took to articles and found out that the GCAM
Hmm.
decided to just go ahead and say, "Oh, just make an American account. Just forget about it. It's time to move on. Make an American account." Like, fuck you, man. Like, how about fix your goddamn store? How about release the DLC for
Yeah,
Judgment and Lost Judgment? How about release fucking everything
yeah.
on my account, you stupid fucking bastards?
It's like, how about at the same time,
Oh, gaming,
it's like, can we
gaming in the
just,
Middle East, man.
yeah, it's like, can
Wow,
we just
just
have
fucking
like
wow.
can we just like stop having all these different issues? It's like, I know it's like sometimes the Australian classification board is just as bad. It's like the Australian classification board is sometimes just like, oh yeah, that's got this particular scene in the game, and that's not going to be good for
Well,
us. So,
well,
but
let's face it. Let's fucking face it. GTA V will never be re-released in the Middle East because of its. Let me. You guessed it. Sexual content and pretty
yeah,
much like because of the rating system and everything. Like fucking
yeah,
fuck
it's
my life,
yeah,
man.
it's
And
yeah,
and 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 the, and the worst part is GTA 4 banned in my home country. Like you can't fucking do that. That game is a sacred classic. Leave GTA 4 alone.
yeah,
Leave the classics alone.
yeah.
Don't
Leave.
definitive don't definitive versionize anything. In the words of Gypsy, the greatest GTA
Yeah.
YouTuber known to man, don't definitive versionize anything. Okay,
Oh yeah.
like we've seen them fucking ruin GTA 3, GTA San Andreas, like Vice City, and I
Yep.
had fond memories with those games too. Like
And they bring out a
last
port
time I remember,
and
uh, last time I remember, I remember playing San Andreas
hmm,
in the computer lab. Pretty much there's an Arabic version of it, like not in
hmm.
the literal sense that there's a Arab division in Rockstar games and everything,
Yeah, but
but
like,
someone
is there a
actually decided to take the
translation?
time out of the. Yep,
Ah,
yep, you could
yeah,
say that,
yeah.
and pretty much they have people doing head dweller and shit like that, and like those were the kind of videos you would see back in the day on
Right.
San Andreas and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Vice City is pretty much another example. I remember playing this in middle school.
Hmm.
Probably, I think it was like sixth or seventh grade or something. Uh, let's just say I tried installing them illegally at my home and shit. It didn't go through, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and besides, like my parents thought, like, oh, is he gonna be fucking violent and shit like that? Now listen, man, I learned nothing from a video game unless it's Yakuza. Except Yakuza. I'm
Yeah.
not fucking committing any of the shit that's done in a video game. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
like, I'm not gonna fucking race around the highway. I could just fucking race around the track and just have fun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much my history with GTA, I
That's
guess.
crazy. Yeah. But yeah, before we move on to the next topic, I'm just gonna take a quick 2 minute break. But we'll be back in a moment.
Like,
So yeah, we'll be a
all
quick
right,
second.
Fossil Winter Watson.
We'll be
Fossil
back.
Winter Watson. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back.
Wearing my watch, in case you see. Welcome back, guys.
Nice. Yeah, so we talked about I guess, time with games. We talked about GTA and stuff. But
Stuff like
yeah,
that.
I guess maybe we could talk a little bit more personal about you, like aside from gaming and stuff. I guess
Yeah, of
what
course.
has What's the best way to describe this? Like, what has life been like for you? Like, let's just say in the last 5, 10 years of your
Well,
life.
I'll say this much: in the last 20 years since
Yeah.
my childhood's been great. I would
Hmm.
say my childhood has been so great. We actually have a fucking USB, like a hard disk,
Oh yeah.
filled with all those memories. I could take those with you and
Hmm.
show a couple of my old pictures of myself.
Hmm.
Uh, unless my family has a problem with that, then I
Yeah.
guess I'll
Like,
just
we could save that
show
for
my
like
childhood. So,
another stream, like another podcast episode. Like, if you've got anything to extend on. But
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
don't care, don't fucking care. But anyway,
Yeah.
but anyways, it's been great, honestly.
Hmm.
I've had a few bullies here and there, but it's like a bit mild and shit like
Yeah.
that, as Pesla would describe. It's like mild and shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like, but like, okay, like first bully, okay, I didn't like had any hate for him. Second one,
Yeah.
I hated him. I'm not gonna say his fucking name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But forget about that fucking bastard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about my school bullies. I'm not talking about you, Paz, or anybody else,
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
like
Going
that.
back
Uh,
to your childhood, like your early childhood, and
and
kind
then
of
ever since, there's never been any bullies. I've just
yeah,
graduated. I've moved on. I've taken exams. I failed, but I
yeah,
passed anyway. So I'm an
yeah,
epic
yeah,
gamer.
yeah. The epic gamer
So
win.
and now and now I'm like unemployed. I've yet to go to college. I've yet to finish my driving. I've yet to lose all my weight. I've yet to actually figure out how to edit videos and thumbnails and
Yeah.
music and everything.
Hmm.
You know, so far I've just been forming all my life.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like you're sort of yeah, you're still forming that stage going, okay, where am I at? What do I want to do? And how do
Yeah,
I
I'm
get to
forming.
those things?
Yeah, I'm actually just forming my stage,
Yeah.
like to the point where I need to use my brain and think with it,
Yeah.
not my penis. So
Yeah. But it's like you're thinking about like how you're gonna get to that
yeah,
next stage.
I'm
And
actually yes, yes, that is right. Like pretty much, I gotta find myself a home first, find some supplies, what to
yeah.
eat, what to use, and then I get to and then I let gaming be the last thing,
Yeah.
for my
That
room and
becomes your
shit.
leisure. That becomes like your this is my reward for doing all these things.
And eventually, if you really think about it, I could actually start going back into the YouTube fold. I could actually think about
Yeah.
uh, making thumbnails, making whatever the fuck.
Yeah, making some kind of content that you enjoy making, and then hopefully getting some kind of reward out of that for the hard work that you put in. And
Yeah, but because I actually want to do YouTube for fun and also for the living at this point, like with Google AdSense and everything.
yeah,
So
once you like get yourself in the fold, you know what you're doing, you start utilizing the different things, and you then get to that stage where you're like, okay, I now have these particular things, and I now have the, I guess,
I turn off my camera for a bit. My mom was walking in,
oh no,
so like
that's fine.
anyway.
But yeah,
Anyway,
so you get to that fold, and then you sort of go like, okay, I've now put all this effort in. I now know what I'm doing. I want to make these YouTube videos. I enjoy
yeah,
making these videos. Maybe I'll get some
I
reward
actually want to
from it.
make. I'll make this. I'll consider this like a safety first kind of ordeal. Like
Hmm.
safety first. Like I actually
Yeah,
want to be safety is the number one priority in doing anything. The second
yeah,
is fun.
yeah, yeah. It's
Because like
like
Because like, what
there's
are you gonna eat for breakfast? What are you gonna eat for lunch? What are you gonna eat for dinner? What the fuck are you gonna
yeah,
do in your afternoon? Shit like that. The
yeah.
fuck you
You
gonna
can't
do?
like put your effort into everything until you have those basics first. Like you know what you're going to be eating, you know what you're going to be drinking,
Yeah, it's like
you've got your
you
living
know,
first.
and like also I would say like you can't nothing in life. My mom always says this. Nothing in life is always gaming and watching YouTube and all this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. It's like for me, like I'm sort of in that stage where I guess you're sort of in that stage that I was kind of in when I was getting out of high school. I was like going, what do I want to do? Where am I at? And then I sort of found where I was at for a little while. Had a couple jobs, eventually, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try out streaming. I enjoy streaming. So I've added that to my fold. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
but we all gotta realize that nothing is going to be perfect at first glance.
yeah, no way.
Like for me,
Nothing's perfect
like
at first.
like for me, my YouTube history, which we will get into in
Yeah,
a second,
we'll definitely get into it.
is it's not going to be perfect. Like, of course, it's all about like some people think it's all about getting lucky and
Hmm.
everything. So like, I wouldn't say like just do your best that you can.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say do it with all your might because you might tire yourself out,
Yeah.
just like I did. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people have been telling me like, oh, start streaming every day because like you're gonna get more viewers, but that isn't really the case, is it?
No, that's not the
Like you gotta have
case.
a schedule and shit. Like a lot of YouTubers, I see a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers have a lot of schedule for
Hmm.
a ton of shit, and
Yeah.
people gotta realize that.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I made the mistake in the beginning with Twitch where I thought, oh, I need to stream every single day. I need to try and put all my effort in right off the get go, and and then I tired myself out doing that. So my
Hmm.
advice as well is like don't put every single day into it. Like put give yourself enough time to go, okay, what time do I have to rest? What time do I have to maybe yeah, you should definitely stream. Like you have a set schedule, like stream a couple of times a week or whatever you can do, and try and stream for like 2 or 3 hours or something like that in the beginning. Get yourself used to it. But also don't just rely on streaming because it's not going to be the only thing that you need. Like you might want to make highlight videos of the best moments. You might want to make other YouTube content with parts of that stream as well that might not be highlights but just little tidbits here and there. Like you could do YouTube shorts, you could do TikTok sort of videos with some of those highlights from your stream because you want to maximize everything that you can when you're streaming. And a lot of us, we forget to do that. We all forget to do that. We go, oh yeah, we're doing the streaming, but that's not enough. It's not enough to get the brain moving, and it's not enough to show your effort. So you've got to maximize the content you're making. And that's probably one of the key things. And do it in the right sort of way. So
Yeah.
there's
Like
many different ways to approach it. Like that's just one method that I've read on. But yeah, you just gotta you put your best in, but don't tire yourself out and go overboard. So
because the people that do that are going to tire themselves out eventually
yeah.
and pretty much lose the mood of streaming. Like a lot of my
Yeah.
streams, over the years, like I like sound like I just woke up, or either like it's late at night and everything else.
Yeah, it's like yeah, definitely put effort in to make your content, but like remember that you've got to have your own time outside of that as well. And at the same time, you've got to remember that it's like your life is not just about streaming. It's like your life is multiple
Yeah,
things.
like yeah, and here's like three things that people should know about me. Number one,
Hmm.
I have nothing, and I mean nothing, against the LGBTQ community. If you have the feel to be yourself, be yourself. Just
Hmm.
don't involve me in the picture. Don't try to get me to being gay or bisexual or anything like that. Just do what you
Hmm.
will. I am neutral towards everything. I don't
Yeah.
like I'm neutral. Like that doesn't mean I despise the LGBTQ. Okay,
Hmm.
and of course, there will be some people that say, "Oh, I'm making it my lifestyle." Just don't make it your lifestyle, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't hate it. I don't hate the LGBT community. Do what
Yeah.
you want. I don't care. But
Yeah.
just don't make it your lifestyle, because then people
Yeah.
are gonna be like jumping down your throat and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number
And I
two,
want to. Can I just clarify on your first point? Just for
like,
viewers
just
to
go
know
ahead.
on the sake.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
For
ahead.
on the first point, like just to clarify for any viewers, I know like this particular topic area, it's a hard one, especially for a lot of countries to be able to talk about. So I want to sort
Mhm.
of add that it's it's hard for a lot of countries to be able to speak out for it or against it or
Exactly.
anything like that because there's a lot of other
Well,
particular
like,
reasons.
well, I mean, some countries just don't want to do it. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
say that they have it hard, but in reality, they just don't want to do it. So,
Yeah, and but like also some can't speak out for it in their own country because of the political situation in those countries.
yeah.
So
I mean,
that's kind
I
of
mean,
what
of
I'm getting
course.
at. So that's why I'm saying like a lot of people will also take a neutral stance because they don't want to cause an upset in their own country or be on the wrong
Yeah,
side
and
of
of
people
course.
in their own country and
Yeah, of
so
course.
on.
Like, like I said, I'm neutral towards the LGBTQ community. Do what you will. I don't care. Just don't put me in the picture. Don't try to turn me into like any of
Yeah,
the
don't
things that
try and
exist in LGBT.
force anyone onto any
Somewhat,
particular side.
yeah, like just shoving it down my throat and stuff like that. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Number two, I am al- always going to be permanently single. Like I'm not looking for a relationship at the moment.
Hmm.
It's not because of my religion. Before you say
Yeah.
anything, it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with that. I don't want, you know, I don't want a relationship. That's it. I personally don't want a relationship. Like, I'm happy on my own. I'm sure that
Hmm.
everything is good. Shit. Like,
Yeah.
cause I know my dad and my mom keep asking me the same question over and over and over again. When are you gonna get married? When are you gonna get married? It's pretty much like cultural in the Middle East to ask when are you gonna get married?
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah,
here's a
yeah.
brief history of me getting asked that question, real
Yeah.
quick. First time, okay, like my dad asks, when are you gonna get married and everything? Or she's like, no, I don't want to get married. Then they want to know why, because
Yeah.
I just don't want to. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. Second time, second time, like he asked the same question. Like I said, I don't want to get married. And then it repeats over time. Like, when are you gonna get married?
Yeah, yeah.
Allah,
Yeah.
خلاص, خلاص.
Yeah, it's
I just don't make touch but خلاص.
yeah,
Well,
it's that
no offense to my
question
dad,
that
like, you know,
it's that question that a lot
no
of
offense to my
families
dad.
ask.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm happy, okay? I'm happy on my
Yeah.
own. I don't want a fucking relationship. I don't care. Like, I love women. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love women. Don't fucking get me wrong. I love to bang a hot chick, but like, I don't want a fucking
Yeah.
relationship. Like, you just let me be, bro. Leave
Yeah,
me
just
be.
just yeah, it's like it's your life choice. It's like you don't have to go down the choice that people want you to go down. It's your choice. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, you want to be in a relationship and get married, do it. But if you don't, then you don't. Like you don't need
No, that's
to.
it. Like,
There's no debate on it.
and besides, maybe, and even if I don't understand it, I'm sure a lot of people have hard times in their relationships with their husbands and wives and
Yeah.
boyfriends and girlfriends. I'm sure a lot of you out there have a lot of awful times with your loved ones. And
Hmm.
I might not understand it, but like that's why I won't get into like a relationship ever
Yeah.
because of those things. Because I'm scared that if like my wife found out about my past, that I just like pictures of women, she would leave me and
Hmm.
probably never return. That's the one thing I'm kind of scared of. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm pretty much I'm not against relationships and not against LGBTQ at all. Those are the two things I would like to point out. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
against any of those two. I just do what
Yeah.
you want. I don't care. I just don't want a relationship, and
Yeah.
I just don't want to be uh, gay or bisexual or whatever. Just
Yeah,
like do what you
exactly.
want.
Yeah,
I don't care.
it's your own personal choices on those things, and yeah,
And we apologize. For me personally, I apologize that the news stations in the Middle East in the early 2000s and 2010s have been talking smack about it. That's just how it is. Like, I've
yeah,
seen a lot of Muslims say that it's against oh, it's against religion to be gay and shit. Like, and we know that. We fucking know that. but these people just take it too far. Like
Yeah,
thinking, I don't care.
it's
Like I don't care, but you're like, you know what I mean? So you know
yeah.
what I mean? So
So Zen says here, getting married is a big decision. Some people don't even have the luxury of choosing. Some are forced
wait,
into an arranged
wait
marriage.
a minute. Wait, hang on. Hang the
Yeah.
fuck on. I know who that is. Alpha, is that you? Is that you, Alpha? What's up, dog? Hey, dog. This is one of Fezlo's leaders of the DDG and
Oh
shit.
yeah,
This is good.
yeah. But yeah,
Is that you, Alpha?
hey, we got glitch
Bro,
effect here as well. Nice, nice.
is that you?
Yeah, we're
Anyway,
doing we're doing well,
let's
glitch. But yeah,
we're doing
um,
well, Butch. But let's
but
move
yeah,
on. But
it
let's
is.
continue back to what we were talking about.
It is true though that yeah, some are put into these forced arranged marriages. Like I don't support that sort of thing at all. I will say that straight off the bat. Like it's just
Alpha. Oh my
um
god, dude! I didn't expect Alpha to join in. I expected Taz or File to join in, but not Alpha. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like
Anyway,
we're doing well here. But yeah, so was that so you had those 2 points. Did you have like any third point or anything else to add to that?
third
Or
point. Honestly, I don't think I have a third point. Just
okay,
those two
just the
alone.
two?
So,
Cool.
but let's move on from the both of them and get back to whatever the fuck we were talking about.
Yeah. So
Gaming
yeah.
related. Come on, come
Yeah,
on.
so we've talked about the
Gaming related.
games. We've
Yes.
talked a bit about we talked a bit, I guess, on your childhood, like how you got bullied, like but was there any like highlight moments in your childhood, like things that you remember that you look very fondly on
Um,
that
I would say just spending time with my family, playing with toys and a lot of stuff.
yeah.
And I remember that my dad had an old iPhone 4S
Ah, the iPhone
for work.
4S, yes. Yes, that was good.
And I remember taking it from him
Hmm.
and recording voice lines.
Oh, nice.
I would have to pull out the old iPhone, like, but my dad always said to me that he found those things while he was working. He thought I was such
Hmm.
a bright kid
Yeah.
that he played those voicemails at work, mind you, at his
Oh god.
fucking
Oh
workplace.
god. Damn.
It's not embarrassing. I don't think that's embarrassing. If you're a kid and did that shit like me,
Yeah.
then you're a happy kid. You're fucking happy.
Yeah.
Props to you.
Yeah, the iPhone 4S was my second ever smartphone that I
Did Alpha
had,
thing.
and yeah, like my first phone was like this really crappy Sony Android phone. Like, it
Yeah.
was like a cheap budget.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, let's talk about phones for a
Oh
minute because
yes,
like
we should talk about phones. Yes.
technically, my first phone, I
Yeah.
would say technically was the iPhone 4. Well, iPad. I played with the iPad. I broke it
Hmm.
once. My family fixed it, and I never broke it since.
Nice. Yeah. Like.
I was kind of a brat back then. I was a kid. Like, who am I
Yeah,
kidding? My
it's the
mom
kid thing.
would get angry at me. She would like whoop my ass if I got a question wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
So that kind of thing.
Yeah, but my first phone was like this Sony sort of really crappy Android phone. Like it was like a budget.
What Xperia? Wait, what was it? Sony Ericsson or Xperia?
I feel like it was an Xperia, but it was like a really cheap, really sort of cheap Sony phone.
I actually had an Xperia as well.
Hmm.
It was my dad's also. He had a replacement phone.
Hmm.
Pretty much. Oh no, actually, no. My first actual phone
Yeah.
was an HTC.
Oh, right.
Yes, an
Yeah.
HTC. I'm not
HTC.
even joking
Yeah.
with you. This HTC, the dead phone brand that will die into obscurity
Oh, those were
and shit.
popular back in the day. In high school for me, those were popular. Like
My
the
dad got in
HTC.
the middle. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Alpha.
Yeah.
And I thought the thing was good. Like the motherboard was overheating, so that phone had to go.
All right.
The replacement was a Sony Xperia Z4. I had this
Oh,
thing.
damn, the Z4.
Un- yeah. Until my brother decided to actually buy me a new phone,
Hmm.
and it was the ultimate. Read what's
Oh.
on.
It's Huawei, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my brother got it in like pink and purple and blue or something. I don't know what
Right.
color it is, but it looks cool. It
Yeah, it
looks
looks like a good
nice.
phone. Yeah, like
You know, I'm actually thinking of actually buying a phone for myself. I don't know whether I go with iPhone, uh, uh, Apple or Samsung, heck, even a Microsoft phone. I don't know.
yeah, you
I
never
don't know.
know.
Like phones these days are just pretty much like I don't know, bro. It's like
Yeah, it's like I
yeah.
remember back then in like the early 2010s, like at least when I got into high school, like 2013 sort of time, people raved on about iPhones still like massively because like around that time iOS 7 sort of came out and then they had the iPhones, I think the 5S at the time,
Mhm.
and my second phone was an iPhone 4S because it was my half sister's. She gave it to me as like a sort of hand me down phone, and that became my phone for like a year or two. And then I then decided to get the iPhone 5C. Worst decision ever because the 5C was the cheap sort of phone. It was the cheap phone, and because I was like, oh, I just want an iPhone,
And we
and
all know, and we all know, Smosh has a habit of making iPhone parodies.
oh yeah, yeah. But the 5C, the 5C was cool for the color sort of gimmick, and it was just cheap. It was actually garbage. I had that thing for like maybe not even a year, and then I got rid of that thing. And I then went back to Sony and got the Sony Xperia X, I think. And in fact, I still have that phone in my
X.
drawer. I still have that phone in my drawer actually. If I
X. Excuse me?
The Xperia X, yeah. Let me I'll see if it's in my drawer actually, because I did have it. I still
All
have
right.
this thing. Yeah, I still have this thing.
Okay.
I kept it around
Okay.
as a
Okay.
spare phone. So
Oh my God.
I had that thing for probably about 3 years as my phone. And good camera,
Okay.
really good camera, because that's the one thing I wanted it for, the good camera. And I kept it, and then I was like, okay, I need a new phone now. And I originally got a Huawei phone. I got a Huawei phone as well, and had that for
Hmm.
about maybe a year and a half.
Well,
And
get ready for get ready for this. Get ready to buy a replacement real quick because they are gone with Google. It's over.
really?
It's fucking
Oh wait,
over.
with Huawei, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, because they
these say goodbye to these Google related
say
shit.
goodbye to Android on a Huawei phone. Like,
Yeah, and my brother works at fucking Huawei, so what do we fucking do? You
yeah,
know?
yeah, it's always good to have a backup phone. The Xperia X was a massive phone for back in the early 2010s. Yeah, the Xperia X was a big deal back then. Like the cameras were absolutely brilliant on them. Like that's the main driving force of why I bought one. And then,
Hmm. That's a good
uh,
point.
but yeah, because like I cared about the camera. I didn't care really about anything else with the phone because like I didn't use it for anything else. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get it for the good camera. But then I got a Huawei phone and it ended up basic. I didn't really like this particular one. Like it just wasn't really that great for me. So then I switched back to iPhone. I switched back and got the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So saved my money and was like, yep, I'm buying that. Let's
Thought there
see.
was something on my screen. Cleared up. It's like
uh, Nokia
in here.
phones are so
It's not exist.
underrated, bro. Yeah, Nokia phones were really underrated, at least this point in
Is
time.
that a cheese? Is it
Cheese paratha.
Alpha? I'm eating a sandwich. This is not cheese partha.
Hmm,
This is cheese sandwich with za'atar. My mom makes them for me all the time.
nice.
And and
And you got the owl mug. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. If anyone wants to know,
My sister actually, my sister actually got those for me. God bless her
yeah,
and everything.
yeah, I got one of these Macca's glasses now because they got these Macca's glasses coming out. So I was like, that's cool. But if you guys want to know
Oh
what
my
I'm drinking,
lord.
it is an Australian cola brand, LA Ice. Underrated,
Mm,
really underrated brand.
yeah, yeah,
So,
but Alpha has a good point. Nokia phones are so underrated.
oh
Like
yeah.
the tone was like I remember back in the day, people would fucking would show them like, hey guys, check it out. Dun, 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 dun. Thought up, thought up.
Was that a Middle Eastern exclusive sort of ringtone thing, or?
No, no. If you want Middle Eastern ringtones, look up Nokia Arabic ringtone, and I'll show you a Emirat, a UAE song,
Right.
2003, 2003.
Damn, 2003.
Same, same year I was born, by the way. I was born in the beginning of 2003, January
Damn.
the 1st. And
No.
the funny and the weird thing is, my birthday January the 1st isn't actually my birthday. Let me explain. So,
Hmm.
like, when they wrote this, when they wrote my passport, when they got
Hmm.
my license, like my ID and everything,
Hmm.
they put in 1/1/2003 when I was actually born on the January the 25th of 2003.
Ooh,
Why I have
okay.
every birthday I have is in January the 25th. It's gonna be on my birthday next year. I'm gonna be turning 20. Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna turn 20 years old
Damn.
in the next year. So I'm 19, pretty much.
Hmm. Let's see. I always go back to iPhone no matter what. Bought it the iPhone 13 Pro Max after owning the Samsung Z Fold. The Z Fold was my worst purchase. Really? I thought the Z Fold would have actually been really good, but damn.
Hmm. I mean, imagine if I was still using my dad's Xperia, it would expire right off the fucking spot. It would just burn.
Nokia's
Like, hey, let me
are
just fucking like get me a fucking marshmallow. I'll roast the thing.
roast the thing. Yeah.
Phone torch. Yay.
Yeah. Back in 2012, I had Nokia 920. That thing was awesome. Yeah, Nokia. Like, I
Hmm.
remember. I
I
think my mum
think
had a
I
BlackBerry
think
phone in the late 2000s. I think. But
my mom also had like a Nokia flip phone. I'm not too sure, dude.
hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
it's like my
I
granddad
don't know,
still
to be
loves
honest.
using flip phones. He's still the OG with that sort of thing. But he actually does have a smartphone, but he
Yeah, the middle
prefers.
screen was a terrible idea for the second model. Broke after a month. Wow, Alpha. Just wow.
Damn.
Damn. Indeed.
But like the Galaxy Z flips look really good though, because like the clamshell
Yeah.
design looks like a cool idea.
And
But
and
it's about
and
the screen technology, if the bend is good for the screen or not. But yeah, but we talked about phones. Let's see. So
what else is there to talk about? It's been like
I mean,
57 minutes, so
I
we have
mean,
a lot of
like
time now.
we've got lots of time still, and I think one thing we haven't talked about a lot still is your sort of relationship with like the online gaming sort of scene because it's
Uh,
like in
uh
general, like
I mean, it's fun. You get to meet a lot of new people. Like
hmm,
so far in my life, uh, I've met a shit ton of people online and shit.
yeah,
It's been good. It's been good. I got to know Peslo and the rest. It's good.
yeah,
There's like competitive, there's casual, and there's the people who play it for fun. I
yeah,
just want to play it for fun, man.
yeah. But it's like you tend to play like a lot of games. Like you play The Crew 2, you play Need for Speed. Like, was there anywhere that really got you sort of started, or like just piqued your interest to get started into those things, or was that just like you just had curiosity and got into the scene like that?
I'm I'm not too sure on both games with those kind of scenes. I'm not particularly sure about that. So
Hmm.
like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm unsure as of the moment.
Yeah. So like you don't have an idea of like how you really just decide one day to pick up the controller and go, yeah, I'm playing the crew too, or yeah, I'm playing Need for Speed, and getting into the community and joining in at this stage.
I mean,
Like, is
I
it?
mean, I'll consider it like training wheels for real life driving.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm just trying to form my own driving style. I've got a warning from Tesla, like that I've been using his driving style, blah 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 blah. And now I'm just trying to form it so I don't get in trouble and everything. So like,
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the political and economic state of the world right now.
come
No
on, Alpha,
way.
come on, man,
No
no
way.
way, way,
I think
no
that's a
way,
topic
man.
area that's a bit sort of rocky to talk about, especially at this point in time. Like there's many different things that have been going on in the world.
You want political? Check out Bagat Sabar on YouTube. That guy that screams, "Yeah, yeah."
Yeah, yeah.
I've
It's
shown you him before, girl, and you couldn't even understand him. So like,
but I just knew he was raging about something, and I'm just like, okay, this dude, like, it seems like he's having the time of his life, just rambling about different things.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. He likes to talk about Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who's the president of Egypt,
Hmm.
and let's just say a lot of people have been memeing the absolute shit out of Bagat Sabar. I've seen
Yeah.
a couple compilations of that guy, and man, guy just makes me laugh my fucking nuts off.
Yeah, it's like there's a few like YouTubers in Australia that love to talk about like the Australian government, and they love to talk about like especially the
Like
previous government that was in power in Australia. And
I can't imagine Isaac Butterfield, Friendly Geordies, or any of the big YouTubers in Australia.
I could not imagine them not talking about Australian politics and stuff. Like they just make it a really good comedy fest, and it's just it's great. But whether you
Yeah, I
support
mean,
their views or not, it to me, I just find it funny.
for me, okay, the third point actually, like now I realized, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about politics. I do not give a shit about
Yeah,
politics.
yeah.
No, no,
It's
no, no, no.
it's a
Don't
no
you
thing.
dare stay politics away from me.
Yeah. Topic suggestion: inspirations on getting into content creation. That's a good sort of area to talk about. Um.
Well, Alpha, I was just talking about that earlier. Like,
Hmm,
I've been talking about editing videos and getting back into the YouTube fold as a
hmm.
professional.
Yeah. Is there any content area that you really, I guess, want to, I guess, get into that you might be a bit hesitant to get into? Like, is there any areas that you're not that you sort of want to get into with content that's a bit different to what you normally do? Like, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
this,
So that's pretty much it.
yeah. But
Uh,
but
what I've
any
always found hilarious.
wait, let's see. What I've always found hilarious is when the Americans were protesting for Melbourne to get out of lockdown, calling it violating human rights. It's the reason why Australia has the lowest. Um, so it's completely different now. I mean, I won't go too much into it, but back during 2020, when the pandemic sort of took hold in the world, Australia was one that had one of the harshest lockdowns. I wouldn't say it was the level of particular other countries that we're especially talking about now, but we had some pretty harsh lockdowns. Like Melbourne and Victoria in general, yeah, they had some really hard lockdowns, and we did as well. Uh, uh, it it was it was something that there was some kind of weird stuff going on with that. There was stuff that was a little bit ridiculous in the grand scheme that wasn't going to change much of the situation. But
Nothing like a good coffee from this little fella.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so there was some weird stuff going on with that. There was no, I wouldn't say it was violating human rights, just personally, but it was definitely sketchy in some areas where it just didn't make sense. The rules kind of were a bit overboard and over the top, but they were just trying to do what was advised of them, especially from public health experts and stuff. So, yeah, it was ridiculous in some aspects, but thankfully we're past that point, at least here in Australia. We've passed that point where lockdowns have kind of moved
Yeah,
on.
like
We're
a
kind
lot
of
of
at that stage
people
now
have
where we're just
been.
kind of moving on, and the world's kind of
Yeah,
starting to move on too.
I've heard as well that a lot of flights are opening up
Yeah, I went
over
overseas.
Australia, and
That was a start. So
yeah, that was a start. And
yeah,
now I'm thinking about actually going to Australia and meeting Imperial, Zach, and Tesla in person. It's gonna
yeah,
be fun.
yeah,
And you know what? When I think about it, honestly, I might as well make a vlog series of my time in Australia, like
yeah.
episode 1 through whatever.
Who knows? Yeah. Um, yeah, completely agree. There hasn't been anything like this in years, so the type of precautionary measures were expected, but kind of over the top. I'm just glad that our borders haven't opened to the rest of the country. Um, in Australia, we had lots of debates about opening state borders between
God damn
each
it!
state.
Can't find the kiss 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 emoji. Yes, I'm multitasking on Tesla stream while I'm on the podcast. So that means the
Multitask, it's high.
multitasking.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like we our borders have opened in Australia, like, but for a long time it was an internal state border issue where some states were like, no, we're not going to open until cases are zero and all this sort of stuff. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
I get the precautionary measures, but some of it was definitely over the top, and it could have been handled much more unified together. West Australia basically put the middle finger up to the rest of Australia, denying. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it was really annoying. It was super annoying, especially if state borders were shut, because a lot of families couldn't see each other. A lot of families couldn't go and see their dying loved ones and stuff like that. Quite, uh, it was quite sad. And, but yeah,
Yeah.
we're moving on. We've opened, the borders are open. We still have some small restrictions here and there, but it's nothing really anymore. We're basically back to normal, except with COVID still being around everywhere. But like, I mean, it's just evident because my some of my family have had COVID, a lot of my friends have had COVID, but we're getting to the point where things are starting to become normal. So yeah, I don't know what the situation on COVID was like in the Middle East, but I
Well, in the
mean,
Middle East, I would say it's all started on March of 2020
same
in
sort of
the
time.
pre-COVID, pretty much the pre-COVID era. And
Yeah.
everyone started going to school through Zoom and everything, and we graduated through Zoom, and
Hmm.
now that's why I don't go to school anymore. At least I don't
Yeah.
attend meetings.
Yeah. But was there really any restrictions on like where you could go, or like was it like, oh, you can't go to these places because COVID, or was it like,
Okay, so only in giant superstores in the KSA. So pretty much, you have to have an app where you have to scan QR codes, and I
ah,
mentioned
yeah.
this to you, Imperial.
Yeah, I remember that.
Uh, pretty much, you have to scan your QR code and everything. It's loading in now. But
Yeah.
basically, I'm just gonna cover my social number,
Oh,
social
yeah,
social.
yeah.
Great, I've been signed out, and that's a big problem. I get signed out of this app every single day,
Oh god.
and it's really driving me crazy.
Yeah, yeah, we had a QR system for a little while. It still is existent, but it's only like if you're going to like I think hospitals or like aged care homes and stuff. So every other place has scrapped the QR code system because it's no longer a requirement. But it it was a thing for a while, and it's it's definitely sort of become much less relevant now.
Lord, just a minute.
But I like how the only threat to Australia is Clive Palmer. I don't think he's the only threat to Australia. But let's see. We had a similar thing. No stuff behind government. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that's what I was sort of saying. Like we like at government buildings and stuff would be the only place you'd use the QR code. Like at least here in like New South Wales, like that was the thing for a while. I don't know to what extent other states in Australia used the QR code systems, but I'm pretty sure to pretty similar extents. Um, but for a while they scrapped the QR codes because they're like it's not really necessary, it's not changing anything. Like because the amount of cases we have now with the Omicron wave of COVID, it's like it's virtually impossible to track. Cole still has them, but basically no one. Yeah, no one uses it anymore. It's like I haven't used it bloody since like I think January or February. I think that's when they sort of started scrapping the QR codes. So and they only use them for like the hospitals and stuff. But it's kind of it's pretty irrelevant now. It's like back in the days when we had like maybe a couple hundred cases a day or even less. It was like it made sense to use it because you could track all the cases and go, oh, you were in close contact with this person, so just watch out for COVID symptoms. Now it's like, well, there's too many cases to go around. How are you going to keep track with all the cases? You can't. So it's like I think that's why a lot of countries basically probably would have said why use a QR system if you're going to have so many cases to go around. Like
Tell that to the fucking government officials of the country.
yeah, yeah, it's like in the early days it made sense, but later on when you start having the Omicron variant of COVID and its other subvariants, it's like it's virtually impossible to track the cases. The only way you're going to know you've got COVID is if you test for COVID. So, and that's why you got the rapid antigen test kits. So you can test yourself for COVID if you get symptoms and then report it to the government that you've got COVID. That's all it is now. If you get COVID, you report it to the government or your state government or whatever, and you add it to the statistic. So, yeah. Like it's like just to kind of mention here, like I was saying how some of my family caught COVID. My dad and my granddad both caught COVID. And they've only just recently got over
Real.
it. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah.
watch Lou's stream right now. Just look what the
Wait,
fuck
wait,
is
wait, wait.
happening.
What is going on?
Okay, me and one of Blow's viewers are just role playing a man and wife, husband and wife.
Yeah, I don't really want to bring the audio on stream, but
Oh no 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 no.
yeah.
Oh no, you don't have to. You don't have to. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay. Let's just continue.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so pretty much it was like wait, I'm surprised they didn't charge for the rapid test. We got given 20 of them for free after we got it. Yeah, we didn't get any of that bloody in New South Wales. We have to buy the test kits ourselves. So the only people
Anyway,
in New South Wales that can get them, I think, like pensioners and stuff. So my granddad was given like 3 to 5 test kits for free, and you can get so many at each time. But we weren't given any, so we had to buy ours. So,
mm,
but yeah, so pretty much, like I was saying, my granddad and my dad caught COVID a couple weeks ago, and their symptoms were not too bad. They both had been either triple vaccinated or even the second booster shot as well. So, or quadruple vaccinated if you're my granddad. Um, so they both they both handled it okay. My dad had very minor symptoms like headache and maybe muscle aches, but that was it. And my granddad had like vomiting and diarrhea, I think. But other than that, it was not too bad. Like my granddad still is probably getting some of those after effects of the long COVID, I think. But because he's still like getting so, like he still feels a bit sick some days and stuff. But I mean, it's I think what you kind of would expect with COVID. Like if you're vaccinated, you're gonna handle it a lot better. So yeah, but I've had friends that have had COVID. A lot of them said it's very much like a cold or flu to them. But then again, it could be different for anyone else, and that's why the world was so concerned about it. But yeah, so that's that. I'm lucky to have not had it yet that I'm aware of. I'm lucky to have not had COVID yet, but I know that day will come. I'm certain that day will come when I will get COVID. But
Oh God, I feel
yeah.
bad for Love. Just watching his stream, and he's watching me and one of his viewers just role play husband and wife.
Yeah.
If you saw what's going on in Peril, you would understand.
Someone should clip that. Someone should just clip that. But
Well,
uh,
well, it's on. Well, I don't think Glow. I don't think Glow streams get saved after he finishes
uh,
streaming. So anyway. But anyway,
yeah,
back
thank
to
you.
what we were talking about. I'll
Yeah,
fetch it.
yeah. So we talked a bit about COVID and like the Middle East situation with COVID would have had to a certain extent.
It's not too severe, I would tell you that much. We've been told everywhere to wear a mask and
Yeah,
wallahi, my bro, I'm thankful I've not had it yet. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. We're all I
yeah,
think
it's
we're all
just
thankful we haven't
wear
had it yet.
masks, sanitize,
Yeah, just the
get
usual
your
sort of
shot.
the usual messages that most countries would have been given. But yeah, so like I'd say did that time like change anything that you were planning to do like with
Uh,
COVID? Like
wait,
did that
what? Wait. During COVID,
like
you
during the
mean?
COVID sort of times did that change your
Honestly,
plans?
bro, okay, I've dealt with it. I've had to wear a mask so that the policemen on the road don't see that me and my family are violating the law.
Yeah.
If I do that, I get fined. We
Yeah,
get
yeah.
fined actually,
Yeah.
and we go to jail for not paying it.
Yeah. But
And I'd be in a lot of shit if I didn't pay
yeah.
for shit. So
So
it's
but
it's
wait,
it's a
so
dog eat dog.
so did you have to like wear a mask like everywhere outdoors? Like was it like not just in facilities but outdoors entirely? Or like even in like the car or anything like that? Like or was it just you had to wear a mask when you were in a shop or anything like that?
Honestly, bro, I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's
Honestly, bro, nothing too severe, nothing too difficult.
yeah.
I haven't got COVID. I didn't get COVID, alhamdulillah. I got my vaccine. I got my
Yeah.
first, second, and third, and apparently there's a fourth
Yeah, the
in the
fourth
works,
right
which I hope it
now
don't.
the fourth right now, at least in Australia, is for I think over 50s and stuff like that. So we haven't been told if that's gonna I think or actually no, it has dropped down to I think 35 to 50 can get it if they want to, but they're not really being told you should go and get it. Like they're just saying if you want that slight bit of extra protection if you're 35 to 50, but over 50s are highly recommended to go get the fourth COVID vaccine. So, at least here. So, who knows what that will mean later on. Maybe they'll change the recommendations. I don't know. But yeah, but like did your life change a lot or not
Uh,
much?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole
Hmm.
lot. Everything's okay now.
Right.
Like uh, like pretty much, like 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 pretty much, I had to attend school classes during
Like
COVID,
virtually,
which I've
so.
graduated, by the way.
Hmm.
I didn't have to do any exams, so they essentially the Saudi News 50 reported the Saudi News on Twitter
Hmm.
reported that everyone will be graduating school without any exams whatsoever.
Right. Hmm.
And I excelled. We excelled.
Yeah.
And now I'm unemployed. Like unemployed. I just sit on my ass every day at home.
Hmm.
I don't use the treadmill like I wanted to.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to. I actually want to. Like I said earlier, I'd actually love to. Uh, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Like I remember you were saying, like, because
oh,
like you've
yeah,
got that Excel course you're doing, you want to try and
yeah, and I'm almost finished. And I'm almost finished with it. Actually, I'm
hmm,
almost finished with everything. I'm just about. I'm just going through the VBA course, and then I'm a
hmm,
certified Excel graduate. And
hmm,
this is a lifetime membership course. So pretty much anything I forget, I come
yeah,
back to Excel, I do the thing for my homework and everything.
hmm,
Uh, and then after that, I just get to work on some shit on it.
yeah. Let's see. So we talked about all these different things. Like I wanted to sort of ask more about like your content, about your YouTube content, and
Oh, honestly, I'm like officially done with YouTube for the moment and everything.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it's all over now.
yeah,
But I will come back in the near future.
yeah, but
Like it's just it was just used to be about like the streaming and everything. So like
yeah,
nothing too big, which is
yeah,
why I always said which is why like I said I might come back into the YouTube fold with power of YouTube editing and
yeah.
thumbnails and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's like, but
So pretty much yeah.
was there any sort of content you wanted to try and do, but you just felt like you couldn't do it, or you just weren't ready to do that sort of
Well,
content?
at one point, I actually wanted to go into Carmites and just see some nice ass supercars and
Hmm.
tuners and muscle and anything in the between. I
Hmm.
also wanted to try. Uh, I always wanted to actually uh, pretty much, and I also pretty much wanted to do reaction videos, but then I
Yeah.
don't want to turn into one of these little fuck nuggets, Flash HD and stuff like that, that actually watch you.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, ask about you deleted all your content. You got like 2 million views.
That is true.
Hmm.
That is true. Alpha did know about my YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and pretty much like the Not Funny Didn't Laugh video actually what got me popular, all because
Yeah,
of a meme, not because of my other content,
but
of a
because of a
meme.
meme. Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? Fuck this. Done with all of that. I don't want to be well known because of a meme, okay?
Yeah.
And that's why those 1,250 subs are still there.
Yeah.
I'm actually just waiting for anyone to actually unsubscribe to my YouTube channel. 'Cause I'm inactive at this point, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
Yeah. It's like you're just like a dead YouTuber in a sense.
Yeah, in the sense that I'm
Yeah. You just
like I would I love YouTube. Don't get me wrong. Like
hmm,
I've been stopped by my mom once, twice by my best friend in the WUF, but we're on good terms always. So don't worry.
yeah. Hmm. Let's see. That's one of the downsides of doing YouTube. If you become well known over a meme, it's hard for people to look past it and watch other content. Yeah, yeah. I think that is generally the case. It's like when you get known for being a meme, people just associate you with the meme. They don't associate your content for anything else. And it's hard to move past it. But yeah, like when I was doing YouTube myself back in my teenage days, I loved making random sort of skit videos or random sort of like I guess amateur rap stuff, and people just used to laugh at the stuff instead of actually really genuinely like the stuff. But I didn't interpret it at the time as a teenager that people were laughing at me. I just thought people enjoyed it. So I kept doing it. And
Yeah,
then I realized after a while, these people aren't liking my content. They're just having fun at me. They're just joking at me. So I changed. I changed my content. And there is still stuff I like doing from back in those days that I would love to go back and do again, but I've kind of moved past a lot of that sort of content, and at this stage in time, I'm sort of at that point where I'm just like, okay, I just want to do what I want to do, not what other people
Yeah,
want me to
like
do.
pretty much like hoppity hippity skitty. Sorry, can't even speak English. Like like first I wanted to go professional with video
Yeah.
making and everything, and editing and Photoshop and everything. Like I was thinking about getting a game capture, and
Hmm.
also thought about getting a big gaming PC with lots of storage and
Yeah.
all this shit, so that I'd record whatever games I would need. It shouldn't be just like the Crew 2 every single time.
Yeah.
Two reasons. One, that the games have blocked scenes, so if I stream through PS4,
Yeah.
uh,
It's gonna
it's pretty
block those
annoying. Like,
scenes, and yeah.
yeah, like for Call of Duty, I understand that there's an IP address in there.
Yeah.
If that gets leaked, a hacker could get into your shit. But some games just left to block scenes because it's copyright infringement and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it's it's not good. It's not. That is fucked.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just like it just doesn't it's just not some of it's not viable, and then you just want to go, you want to improve yourself, but it takes time to get to those next steps. Like, you want to get better equipment, it takes time and money to get better equipment just to do the things you want to do. And yeah, like that's how I've been working on things over the years. I've been gradually spending money improving my setup to make things better, and then there's still limitations, and you get frustrated by the limitations all the time. But I think that's just what content is like for a lot of people. You have those limitations that stop you, but if you're dedicated, you just keep going. Whereas back in high school, a
Yeah,
lot of people used to poke fun at me because I made content. The tables turned, everyone else started then making content too. Yeah, that's exactly right. A lot of people started making content themselves, and they were like, oh shit, like this guy actually kind of did do some good stuff and kind of helped out in the scene a little bit and made me want to do content. But sadly, we live in a judgmental society. Everyone has an opinion but decides to use it for the worse. Yeah, a lot of
that
people
is true.
a lot of people just like
That
to
is
go
true.
and
Just
use it to trash on other streamers, like in the worst possible way. They'll start dramas. Like, it's like
and you know,
I saw a
and
post.
I am pretty much ashamed of like everything I've done that's drama related on other people's channels, and I never want to repeat those actions again. I'm looking to go in the present.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, uh,
like looking at the past, it's like I think a lot of the times we've all like done stupid stuff. Like, we got to admit, we've all done stupid stuff in the past with content. Like, we've been part of some of those dramas. We've been part of those different things in the past because sometimes we let that sort of get the better of us. And it's like, looking at the VTubing scene, and I'll talk about the VTubing scene because obviously I'm quite into the VTubing scene. Like, it's
yep.
like I see it all the time. I see drama start. Sometimes it's the most pettiest of stuff, and I'm just like, why are you making this a public deal? No one, it's like no one in the public domain needs to see this, but you just decide to bring it out there because you think that you're gonna get the moral
Like
high ground for it.
it sort of reminds me when someone on TikTok was
Hmm.
making fun of people with big muscles and everything. He was like, nobody cares about when you do that. It's just like nobody cares about that. We don't need to see that. And the guy actually apologized and removed the video.
Hmm.
And bodybuilders like Noah Dezel, a South African bodybuilder,
Hmm.
pretty much was like, are we not going to say that the video is literally this body shaming?
Hmm.
Even if we did do it, even if we do it, even if we still do it, we don't do it for you. We do
Yeah.
it for ourselves. Don't be afraid to show off your hard work.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, let's see. I got heavy into the VTubing scene because of this dude who bullies PNG tubers. Because of that, I found the 2D VTubers and got into it myself. Yeah, like I started off with the PNG because like a lot of
Yeah.
VTubers start off with the PNG,
Like
and
like here's the thing.
it's
All right, here's the thing. There are some pretty shitty, yeah, PNG tubers out there like Jellybean and Meowba and Demi. My boy Demi. Dude, Alpha. Honestly, bro, if I keep watching more of Alpha's videos, I could literally just be building just just a normal sum of muscle. Like I don't want to bodybuild hard enough so I don't fit into
yeah,
doors and I don't
yeah,
like my roof is like I don't want to become like a Godzilla or something. I
yeah.
want to become
It's
Godzilla, man.
yeah, but like in the VTubing community recently, there was this drama like
Anyways,
talking about how much money people spend on VTuber models. Like someone was like boasting about saying like, "Oh, this is what $10,000 in the VTubing community like can give you."
like
Like this is like it's like okay, cool.
excuse me, like
Like
excuse me.
I
No
was
one gives a
one
damn.
I was one that was like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, yeah, you got a cool model, you got all that cool stuff. But a lot of people took that post as like people going, see, like you got to spend heaps of money to be a VTuber, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't. Like a lot of VTubers who are really established in the scene, they came out and they even said, you don't need to spend a lot of money to be a VTuber. Like you can make your own PNG, you can make your own V-Roid model. Like I made my own V-Roid model, and yeah, okay, you're not going to get the attraction that a live 2D model will give you right from the get go. But it's like you don't it's like you got to remember like a lot of those people that get a live 2D model, they've spent thousands of dollars. They get that small little boost in viewership and attraction for a short period of time. But then nothing else is going to keep them around. Like unless they have a good viewer base and they have good content. That's what's going to keep people around. If you don't have good content and you don't have a supportive viewer base because you're not making good content, then you just wasted your money. You just wasted like $1,000, $2,000 on a VTuber model when you haven't put the effort in to make good content. So it's about the personalities. It's about how good the streamer is. If the streamer's not a good streamer, then people aren't going to stick around. So you got so like yeah, you put an investment in, but you've got to back that investment with yourself. You got to back yourself. And if you're not backing
Yeah, you got
yourself,
to take care of
then
yourself at
what's the
all
point?
times.
Like it's like the reason I kept Twitch streaming all this time, whether I was a VTuber or not, is because I enjoy doing it and I want to be better. I want to keep being better. So that's why I kept doing it. But if but if I'm not invested and in putting my time in, then what's the point of going out and buying a $2,000 VTuber model? It's there's no point.
Like like I know a lot of people can't handwrite a VTuber model for themselves. Like, as
Like
not a lot of people can draw. I can say that.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
can't draw. Like
yeah,
I myself have taken art classes back in middle school. Not
yeah,
anymore though.
yeah. But it's like you can make a PNG online for free, and you
Yeah,
can
like
start off from there.
for example, right?
That's how like another
For
VTuber I know,
example,
Darling Straub, started VTubing. She got a PNG. She started from a PNG and kept going. And then she saved her
obviously,
money and eventually bought a live 2D model. But that was because she saved her money and put her effort in. Yeah. Literally the exact same. I went out and spent almost 5 grand on my setup for streaming. Then I hit a pretty rough time in my life and lost motivation. Yeah, it's like you've got to make sure you know that that's going to be what you want to do before you go out and do it. And if you lose motivation, it's like you might as well just go, well, I shouldn't have done that. Or you have to kind of make the time to make that worth it. And for me, like there's been stuff I've done in time where I've gone, maybe I shouldn't have gone out and done that because I didn't think it through enough. It's like when I was looking at going to university, I was thinking about it constantly for like the last year or more. I thought to myself, is this really what I want to do? And I thought that was going to be what I was going to do. But then I turned around back in January, February sort of time. I kept contemplating, kept thinking 50-50, not sure. And then I said, you know what? This is not what I want. So I backed out. I said, no, this is not what I want. So I decided not to go to university and decided to forge a different path. And I'm still figuring out that path. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes time to figure out where you want to be. But yeah. Thanks to the VTubing community, I'm going to focus on that rather than the commentary streaming. Yeah, I mean, VTubing, like, I find if you start off as a PNG, you can make your PNG like reactive. So it kind of almost has that same essence of being a person. But like whether you're IRL streaming, whether you're just streaming without a webcam, whether you're a PNG tuber or Vroid or whatever the case is, you can make it in the game. You just have to keep finding ways to make yourself stand out in the game. And I'm still finding it hard, but I'm finding over time that I will find the things that draw people in. And knowing what viewers want from me and like about me is always a good thing. So if like viewers join the Discord or viewers are like really attracted to your streaming and always coming back, you know there's something there. You know that people are attached to something, but you just got to keep finding out what those things are. So like I'm sure with Aztec, like with your streams like on Twitch or whatever the case is, I'm sure you've always got like maybe one or two regulars that always stick around and always want to talk and chat, like whether they're your friends, whether they're your viewers. Like there's something that would stand out in Aztec streams that would keep them at Aztec streams. But yeah, I feel that the best thing to have for the VTubing is a lore, or at least from what I've seen. The VTubers I found being in viewers from interesting avatars and stories. Yeah, I mean, my VTuber doesn't have a lore, at least as of yet, but I want to create a lore for my VTuber, but I want to at the same time I want to develop my VTuber to have more distinct sort of
Oh
characteristics.
my god.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but like
Yeah, I mean,
you got to be dedicated. That's the main thing with
yeah, you
streams.
gotta be a dedicated YouTuber because if you want that Google AdSense or make money off Twitch, I don't know what Twitch fucking uses for
Like if you
money,
want that Twitch
PayPal or
revenue,
anything like that, or that YouTube revenue.
yeah,
If I don't know, if you actually want to make sure that you make a living off of YouTube and also your job, and also want to do it for fun, you gotta be dedicated.
yeah,
Otherwise, if you're not dedicated, then a lot of people will move away from the channel. Like the only reason
they won't
people
stick
moved
around
away is
because
because
they'll
people
see
like,
that you're not dedicated. But
yeah, that you don't sound dedicated
like you don't
to
you just like sound like you don't care sort of thing. It's
hmm,
like
or
Twitch is
yeah,
easier
or
to
just
grow and make
playing
money than
games.
YouTube. I mean, there's two ways to look
Yeah,
at
because
it.
with YouTube, yeah, because with YouTube, like you have to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. I reached 1,000 subscribers
But you didn't have the
because
watch
the
hours.
number 11. I didn't have the watch hours. I didn't have a video that would be worth 4,000 hours worth of watch time. So
Hmm.
unfortunately, I couldn't make money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, I think that Twitch has started putting in, like, I know at TwitchCon, when I was at TwitchCon in Amsterdam recently, because I headed over there, they were talking about new features with Twitch. They were talking about they're trying to make the discoverability a lot better for small viewers or for small streamers. And I was like, oh, this is a really good thing. Like that caught my eye. I was like, oh, okay, they're listening to what we're saying a little bit. And I mean, I'm not gonna talk about whether I agree with everything with Twitch or not, especially while I'm streaming on Twitch. But but there was some good stuff there. I was like, they're starting to improve the discoverability of smaller channels, and I think there's also an ability where you can pin channels now that you want to click on. So instead of having to type the channel up, you can pin a couple of channels that you always watch, which is really cool. Um, YouTube, I think it's more about the thumbnails and the tags. The thumbnails, the tags, and the title. Those are like the key things you got to always work on with a YouTube video. You've got to like really stand those things out. Like I just started an ASMR channel recently, and it does sound
Yeah,
weird.
and before you guys say anything, the VTuber ladies, don't think that like this is your guy right here. Wait, I know it's fun. Like this guy right here. He's the sexiest he's the sexiest ASMR
Oh
YouTuber to
man.
go to. Subscribe to him.
But yeah, like I start like because I have a liking towards ASMR content, like at least listening to ASMR content. I was kind of curious about making ASMR content, and also because I want to do more VA sort of stuff, like voice acting stuff in future. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of start practicing a little bit, and I made a channel. And then, so I made a channel. I've made 2 videos. I worked hard on the thumbnails, tried to
Two?
make.
I thought you made one.
I've got a
Fuck, hold
second. I've
up.
got a second video up now. I made this first video, and it's almost at 500 views. And I don't know how I did it. I just know that I made a good thumbnail, some good tags, read the script, and had a good time reading the script and trying to actually do it. And it's done okay. Like it's a good start. Aztec about to have a good sleep tonight. Yeah, he's gonna be sleeping to my ASMR num. But
He's doing like torture shit and stuff.
it's not
So it's like
it's not really aimed at a male audience. So as much as it's aimed more at a female audience. That's so
low just awkward ended the stream. Wow.
honestly, I used
Okay.
to think ASMR was weird as fuck, but then I actually started listening to it and I really started enjoying it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
know a lot of
like
ASMRists in the community. I do know a few. Darling Straub, like
mhm,
I've had some small interaction with. And
yeah.
then Vivi as well, Aussie VTuber, does some ASMR content. There's also a few others like definitely a few in the community I've listened to and followed for a while, and some that I'm kind of mutuals with as well. So it's really interesting learning about that stuff and how they make that stuff. Also, ASMR is very big
Yep.
in the VTubing community and gets you a big following. This dude I follow here on Twitch called Rikami does those boyfriend dominating type of ASMR and used it to boost his VTubing
Yeah,
following
that's
as
what
well
that's what
as
I
his music.
kind of
Yeah,
that's what Imperial was kind of going with.
I mean,
My
I
little I don't know what you I don't know what you I don't know what the fuck
okay.
I don't remember
So
the fucking script that you did.
I did a Yandere ASMR script, and I mean that's a pretty dominating vibe in most cases. Like, because you gotta like get the voice, you gotta like try and it's like that's why I like some of these ASMR sort of type videos because you've got to try and really like portray a different voice. So I had to try and put this like really sly sort of voice on, and also like a low tone voice and be like, "Is this what you were looking for?" Like sort of thing.
Yeah,
Like
I enjoyed making feel awkward in the stream. Lol, calm down,
yeah,
okay? Calm
yeah.
down. Calm down.
Like I'll watch reviews. My recommendations are about to get really cursed now. Yeah, like you'll have to send me some of those videos. Like I do want to look for more ASMR scripts because I'm struggling to find some really good ones that I really want to do, but it's because like the ASMR scene is like I find it's much more female uh orientated, at least from what I can tell. But it has started coming up in the male side as well. Like there is starting to be a boost in male ASMRists as well. But technically, you can say I'm an ASMRist now. But there's a tons of Reddit has a lot of ASMR scripts, but I find a lot of them are not really geared to what I can do, at least as of yet, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't feel comfortable trying to portray. Uh,
Gamer, when I do the punishment game again, there won't be many rules. Oh dear God.
yeah, ASMR. Yeah, I'd say probably 85% of the ASMR scripts I see are very more female dominated in the scripts, but who knows? But yeah, so is there any particular type of content that you enjoy on YouTube a lot, Aztec? Like, since we're sort of on the topic of
Hmm.
YouTube content, I guess.
Well, I
Like,
remember. I remember in the past, actually, I used to watch a lot of PewDiePie back
yeah,
then.
I
Even
used to
even when I
too.
stayed up the whole like stayed the night,
Yeah.
I watched a couple of his amnesia videos. My mom would still see
Oh
me
yeah.
on the computer because I haven't slept. That's how much I watched PewDiePie. Then I got
Yeah.
into Smosh, and I gotta say though, like the old Smosh was much better than new Smosh. Like I'm
Yes.
talking about from when they began
Like Ian and
and all
Anthony
the way to
Smosh.
that's pretty much it. Like those new people, man. Honestly, fuck those new people on Smosh. Like no cap.
Yeah.
What the?
Aztec loves to watch Facebook
Oh, shut up!
mom
Shut up!
meme compilation.
Shut up! Shut up, Alpha! Shut it!
Okay.
Nope, nope.
Yeah. I was the
Anyway,
type. First time I watched YouTube was when I was like 8 years old. And I used to watch a lot of like those AMV sort of videos, like not just necessarily AMV.
hey, I actually did.
Yeah.
I actually did. I watched a lot of AMVs with like pictures stilted. Uh,
Yeah.
also like
Either AMVs or like
and
it was either AMVs or even just normal sort of cartoon music videos, like because I remember there was like a lot of music videos with Ben 10 stuff, and I was a kid, so I liked Ben 10, and I watched a lot of the like I watched this one that was like Ben 10 and like Witch Doctor or some shit, and I was like, and it was just the stuff for the time because music videos, Smosh sort of came in, uh, Smosh like I enjoy watching like Food Battle 2010, Food Battle 2009, 2008. I watched all the way back to Food Battle 2006. It was the good times of Smosh. And then I watched like the Pokemon sort of theme song as well that they did. Then
hmm,
also I watched a lot of
yeah,
Ryan Higa's content on his channel, and like he had like the How to Be Ninja video, he had the iPod Human video.
yeah.
That
So yeah, I've watched those videos as well. Those
yeah,
were amazing,
those
actually.
they're old school YouTube. We're talking like old school YouTube, like Smosh, Ryan Higa, Ray William Johnson, like those OG days. Even the Fred videos. Like this
Yeah,
was
Fred
like the
was
hey, it's
the kind of
Fred, and I'm just like, oh my god,
I was
like
like, "Hey, it's Fred!"
yeah,
I can't even do his
like
voice.
this was
I
the
can't even do the voice, but
old YouTube, like that plus the AMV videos and the other music videos, like the. And then you started to get the gameplay era. I like what I like to call the gameplay era on YouTube. Like you had PewDiePie playing like Amnesia, and like you had PewDiePie then play Happy Wheels and stuff. Then
that's what YouTube is. Just broadcast yourself.
yes, and then
And then a little embarrassing thing I used to watch on YouTube, striptease videos, girls just getting naked.
back in the
I'm gonna
day
put that out right now. Yeah,
when
unfortunately, as a kid, I was a horny little bastard. I was a
yeah,
kid,
right,
mind
yeah,
you.
when YouTube didn't have as much limitation on what content you could post.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan TDM, yeah, Dan TDM was good too.
Ooh,
Had
nice.
Some people back in the day used to tell me to watch like Vanos Gaming and stuff. I never really watched Vanos
Oh yeah,
Gaming.
Vanos Gaming is like Vanos Gaming was like big, big and shit,
He was a
big.
big shit in the gaming YouTube scene back then. Like I had one guy back then tell me, oh, oh, you're like my second favorite YouTuber to Vanos Gaming, and I'm just like, oh, cool. Like I had no idea who Vanos Gaming really was back then. I still didn't watch his content, but yeah,
Yeah,
PewDiePie
those fucking what is it?
prank videos were a big thing back then too. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
those weird ass stage videos. Yes, Alpha, I fucking agree.
yeah, like, oh, I'm gonna go kiss random people in public. It's like, no, you're not. You just you know
Mommy
them.
makeout day. Fucking I'll give you $5 if you kiss me. Like
Yeah,
rock paper
yeah.
scissors. He wins.
Oh, Roman Atwood. Yeah, yeah. Roman Atwood with his pranks. Yeah.
Wait, I remember watching Roman's videos at one point. There was a one threw the baby off a balcony and shit like
Oh
that.
shit.
Fuck
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I think I remember
Bruh.
that. But yeah, and then like, but yeah, the gaming era of YouTube, I'd consider like 2010, like 2015 was the big time with gaming on YouTube becoming popular. Like, you had Minecraft videos, like Sky Does Minecraft, yeah, Captain Sparkles, Dan TDM, Stampy, they're all coming in, like, big into the scene. And I loved watching those types of videos back then. And then Minecraft Hunger Games was freaking huge. But then, and PewDiePie, I loved PewDiePie's era of content where like he just didn't give a shit. Like the era where he sort of came in, like his 2015 to 2017 sort of era was when he was just like, I don't give a shit about what people say. Like he wanted to be like the Filthy Frank sort of style content, and he wanted to just be edgy, and I kind of liked that. But I get there was a lot of stuff that kind of crossed the line a tiny bit, just a smidge it. But I mean, PewDiePie has like done many different styles of content, and I appreciate people that like to try and go out of the box a little bit and just sort of try different things. It's like I remember the controversy. I particularly remember the controversy with Logan Paul when he did that Japan sort of stunt. And
Yeah,
at the
that's
time,
where
at the time,
certainly
I trashed him
cross the
for
line
that
bridge.
sort of
Cough,
thing.
cough.
At the time, I trashed him for that sort of thing. Oh yeah, like this was like basically Logan Paul's kind of bridge incident, except much worse. And except the one thing though was that Logan Paul didn't really get hit as hard for it as PewDiePie. PewDiePie with the bridge incident, or even before that bridge incident with the other stuff, he got just freaking deplatformed by YouTube basically entirely. Logan Paul now, though, yeah, I give a lot of respect to Logan Paul now, though, because Logan Paul redeemed himself. He worked to redeem himself. And
Oh, did he?
yeah, he, like, I give him a lot more respect than I used to back then. Back then, I was like, nah, Logan Paul, get stuffed. You've done bad shit because of that. But he redeemed himself. And KSI actually played a big part in Logan Paul redeeming himself.
Yeah,
Like,
and as a matter of fact, they're actually working with a big energy drink company, Prime, and KSI is
hmm.
the Prime leader and shit.
Yeah, it's like I think KSI was the best thing to happen to Logan Paul. Like KSI came in and was like, "Hey, I'm giving you this chance to kind of redeem yourself as well. Like, let's fight each other."
And what do you know? And what the fuck do you know? KSI fucking
KSI and Logan
sorry,
Paul are like buds now.
yeah, Logan fucking Paul redeemed himself.
I still don't know about Jake Paul though. I'm personally not too
Yeah,
sure on Jake
well,
Paul.
oh yeah, no, stuff, fucking get stuffed, Jake, you absolute
I
minga.
used to meme and joke about Jake Paul a lot back in the day. But yeah, I mean, Prime is owned by KSI and Logan isn't it? I don't know. I don't know much about
What?
KSI and Logan Paul's content together. I'll allow the comment. Jake is yeah, I don't know. Jake Paul's just got that sort of vibe of being the younger brother. I think he's the younger brother to Logan Paul. Jake Paul's got like that sort of vibe. He's just like, I want everyone to acknowledge me, but like Logan Paul's got all the attention. But I don't know. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to assume that. But I mean, that's just the vibe I get from hearing about Jake Paul. But yeah, it's like Jake Paul just seems to be the one that wants to be acknowledged, but Logan Paul's the acknowledged one because he's built everything. It's like I mean, it's the same sort of vibe that Zach the Bros and his brother kind of have. I will admit, it's the same sort of vibe. Like except it's kind of somewhat the other way around because Zach's younger brother's kind of more
I
acknowledged.
mean,
But I don't
I
know.
remember
It's
you and I remember you and Zach eventually becoming like the Australian like Ben Phillips. I was like, you guys know Ben Phillips is a
yeah.
fucking
See, with
champion.
me and Zach the Bros, we loved watching Ben Phillips videos back in the day. We were big on we were we were big on like watching their content, and Zach the Bros was
Yeah.
like going, yeah,
The
let's make
first,
Ben Phillips style videos, and I'm just like, but how are we gonna do that?
although although here's the thing though. Although here's the thing though. Like they're like Imperial and Zach the Bros' like friendship. Like it's just too much.
We couldn't
It's too
do
it's too
that.
fucking
We couldn't do that
yeah.
content. Like
Of
we
course,
would probably want to
obviously.
prank each other. Don't get me wrong, we would love to prank each other, but I don't think we would go that far in making it a big production like Ben Phillips. We would be more chill about it and be like, "Oh, see, I'm gonna do this to the bros today." Like, but yeah. Jake was saying on Logan's podcast that he had a big career in YouTube boxing history. Then Logan hit him with the, but I fought Mayweather. Yeah, Logan Paul like fought Mayweather. It's like, hey, Jake Paul, yeah, you've done some big stuff, but Logan Paul has done bigger stuff. And you're saying you've got the biggest career in YouTube boxing history. That's a big boast. That's a big boast to say. It's like that's like me going out and saying, "Hey, I've I'm like the world's best Sonic game player," when I'm not.
Cool. But like, cool. No one cares, man.
Like
Just shut it.
it's like
Like, you know, like here's the thing
don't
though.
boast yourself when you don't know your own
Like
stats.
honestly, like for example, right? Like I don't fucking brag that I'm the best Yakuza player of all time. I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I don't know damage the boss. I don't fucking no damage shit.
Yeah,
It takes skill to do that.
yeah. It takes skills, and
We'll get to that in a second probably. It's like we have a
uh,
lot of time on our stream here.
yeah. Especially when he made $50 million from the fight. Yeah, yeah. Logan Paul made $50 million from the fight. So,
Imagine a person that's not a YouTuber and what he could do with 50 million.
oh
Like he'd
yeah,
probably give that money to his family to buy a house
yeah. Could do
and
so much shit. Like fifty
yeah,
million
like
dollars, you could give like $1 million to your family and be like, "Hey, go and buy yourself a house. Get yourself set up with a few things." Like,
you know, like here's the thing. If I did it for the money, I would put that prize money in a bank account,
yeah,
keep it for the next few years.
yeah.
Well, give my money to family first,
Hmm.
and pretty much keep it safe for the next 50 years or
Keep it
so
saved.
until I
Don't
can
go out and
finally,
just ridiculously spend it.
yeah, ridiculously
Oh,
spend it whenever the time is right.
topic
So,
suggestion. Thoughts on the rise of
Andrew,
Andrew Tate?
oh
Okay,
no,
okay.
oh fuck no! I knew. Okay, I remember Imperial when he said Andrew Tate. I thought, oh, Australian YouTuber,
No, no,
whatever the fuck.
no.
Like,
Andrew
never mind
Tate.
about that.
Okay,
Until
okay.
this fucking guy, this bald headed motherfucker with lots of advice.
Oh,
Okay, Alpha, you got me woke. You fucking make me click.
okay.
Like,
I want to say this. I've researched a little bit on Andrew Tate, and I've watched a few videos on this guy. Now, some of the stuff he says, quite hilarious and quite funny, and possibly some of it quite inspirational if you're like someone that wants to be a bit of a hustler and getting around. However, some of the other stuff he said as well is kind of like, what? Like, it's bizarre, weird, and confusing, especially when it's out of context. Because a lot of the videos I've seen don't have any context, and you kind of go, okay, why the fuck did he say that? Like, what the fuck is he doing? But
he really said that.
yeah, it's kind of like, wait, he really said that? But then when you watch the context, it's like, oh, shit, right, okay. But he's a glorified. Okay, so I don't know the allegations. I don't know if there is any allegations on Andrew Tate. Uh, but some people like have said some of his stuff is quite interesting. And some have said I don't know, he's a bit weird, and some of the stuff he said is a bit weird. He said he prefers to sleep with uh ooh
What?
okay. Okay. I won't say that. But
Oh Lord. Oh
yeah,
my.
he okay. Yeah, I've heard some really weird context and really weird stuff on that stuff about him. He said some really bizarre shit. I've heard some of the stuff he said, and I've heard some really bizarre shit. Like, I kind of don't get a lot of the stuff. Like, I'm just like, okay, why are you saying that? Like, I don't know if he's just playing a character. There was a recent accusation of him for trafficking. He's a very he is a very bizarre person. Some of the stuff he said is quite interesting, quite funny. Some of the stuff he's also said is quite a bit too far out there. And I don't know if he's just playing a character. I feel like he is playing a character, like when he's doing some of these, like when he's doing a lot of this stuff, like he's just stunting or something, trying to stir people up. But I don't
Mm-mm.
know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, some of it
Not
is
in a
just like
million
a
years will I
some
fucking
of it is
support a
just
guy
like a
like
what
that.
the fuck moment. Yeah, I agree. Um, yeah, so I don't know. It's like he's a weird dude, and he said some really bizarre stuff, and I feel like there is more context to some of the things he's also said, but yeah, he is definitely playing a character, and I feel like he's just going out there trying to stir people up. He's trying to be, yeah, like a wow factor sort of guy. He's just like, oh yeah, like see, like you can do all this, you can go make all this money, like and all this kind of stuff, like and like Zach the Bros, like he told me about Andrew Tate like probably a couple of weeks ago, because before that I had never heard of this dude. I was like, who the fuck's Andrew Tate? But then Bros told me about him, and I was like, and he was telling me about Hustlers University and all this sort of stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't, I feel like I'm one that's very skeptical when it comes to these sorts of programs like Hustlers University and all this sort of stuff. I'm very skeptical.
See what I mean? See what I mean? I don't support people like that, man. That
Yeah,
do that word. That word. I will not say that
yeah,
for the
yeah.
sake of your stream, Imperial.
Business wise, the
I
dude's
do not.
incredible. Yeah, I can agree with that. Business wise, the dude is very much out there with business, and like he has done, I think, what did he do, like kickboxing in the past or something?
Kickboxing.
He was like
If
a
he was a
big kickboxer
kickboxer,
or something.
he could have stayed a kickboxer at this point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. The way he brands
kickboxing is
himself,
a
yeah,
really, really,
really insane.
yeah, really fucked up.
Hustlers University seems like a
Actually,
classic pyramid scheme. Yeah, see, that's what I said to the bros. I said to him like, don't sign up for Hustlers University or anything because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Maybe it could be good. Maybe it might not be, but I wouldn't do it.
hmm.
Yeah, he and his brother were
So
kickboxing
what's
world
your
champions. Exactly.
so wait a minute. You're telling me that this guy has his own fucking school, or
He's got a
am I just
Hustlers
picking the
University. him and his brother were kickboxing world champions in the past. Uh, but yeah, he definitely has this wow factor to him, and I think that's what draws a lot of people into him. Like a lot of the guys who have this very big masculinity complex, they sort of go, "Oh, see, like he's world champion, like boxing world champion sort of thing. He's got Hustlers University. He's got all this money. He's doing all these cool things. It's a money making university on Discord. That's where it's all based." Oh wow, okay. So he teaches people on Discord how to make money. And it's like this closed private server, and he gives you videos and
I bet
stuff on
he's
how to do all this shit.
like
Like
I bet this guy's like he doesn't look old, but I do know for one certain this guy doesn't look
I'd say he's
like the type
probably
of guy to use Discord and shit.
yeah, but he's also been on many podcasts. He's been around. He's talked about different things. Like some people have debated a bit with him, like, but he seems to have a lot of weird shit to say, and it's like he's almost
Yeah,
40.
and with those fucked up allegations, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
but if you force me to support a guy like that who does
yeah,
that thing that
yeah.
Alpha just said, I'm sorry, but
Like
you're really
now,
out of your mind if you kept supporting a guy
yeah.
like that.
Now, like I'm gonna say outright here, like I'm not gonna give a viewpoint on the allegations, because if there's still allegations that haven't been uh rested, like case rested or anything, then I'm not gonna give any sway on whether I believe the allegations or not. But at the same time, he just has this very big sort of, at least with his, if he's playing a character here, he has this very big sort of toxic masculinity. Like he's got this whole sort of
Like
masculinity
like way
complex.
worse like way worse than some of Australia's TV shows where toxic masculinity is key.
Yeah. The one thing I like what he says is that he speaks up on male mental health, which is good. Yeah. That, like, I have heard that he does speak up on male mental health. Like that is a good thing. But at the same time, like he says some really weird shit where he's just like, "Oh, hey, like oh, what's your problem? Oh, this, just get rid of it. Just get rid of it." And it's like, well, how do you get rid of a particular problem? You can't just get rid of it. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
But if he's saying
yeah,
it
it
for
doesn't
the if he's saying it for all these jokes and stuff, it's like, I mean, cool.
a famous
The humor
a
is
famous
something.
saying. There's a really famous saying that's said by everyone. Everyone.
Yeah,
Rome was not built in a day.
that's true.
It took years. It took
It
years to form Rome
yeah,
in the coming ages of the like
yeah. It
whatever you
it takes time
know what I
to
mean?
build things. Yeah, yeah. Like that's one of the things in the context in one of these videos, like that I saw of Andrew Tate. It's like, oh, you can't breathe. Well, just breathe. It's like, bruh, bruh.
Bruh.
Okay,
That is so dumb. You
okay.
know what?
It's
You know
like,
what? Him saying that it's even worse. It's kind of even worse than like there's or like if you are homeless, then just buy a house.
yeah, that's
You
basically the
can't.
humor that he has. The humor that he has in his
Oh,
content. And I'm like,
God.
okay, it's
Like,
not really much. Some of the stuff he says is quite funny, but a lot of the stuff I'm just like, really? Really, dude? Like,
oh my
I don't
God.
get the joke,
This
or I don't
like
like the
like
joke.
I'm so fucking
It's
so
so
done with
weird. It's
something
so
people
weird.
like that, man.
But yeah, like Andrew Tate's just a very controversial dude. I don't know like whether the allegations are true or not, but at the same time I feel like he has this kind of problem where it comes with I feel like he has too much of a masculinity sort of superiority complex where he's just like, "Oh, like I saw this one video where
Oh,
he's talking about women, and
okay.
he
Like,
was like,
look,
it was a really, like, he was talking about women. He's like, "Oh, how do you I don't know if it was like, how do you shut a woman up or something?" And he's like, "Oh, just grab him, and then like you sort of, you could guess what kind of happens next."
okay. That will lead to two things. One, she'll fight back. Two, she'll fucking leave you for a nicer
No,
person.
no,
And
no. It gets quite NSFW, let's just say.
oh, oh dear, oh dear,
It's like
oh
you do this
dear.
and then bam, like that's how you shut them up. And I'm just like, what? At least he doesn't bash Islam. He loves Islam and their traditions. Okay.
That's one thing I'll leave him on that. That's one thing I'll leave him on that. Like people who just shit talk Islam or people that didn't even get involved in the fucking religion. Like there's a video of celebrities, including
Hmm.
Muhammad Ali, by the way,
Hmm.
the boxer, the Arabian boxer, I think.
Muhammad Ali, I think.
That showed his view on Islam and everything.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like I think like I think that Andrew Tate he's bashed a few religions I think, but he won't. But obviously he won't bash a religion that he enjoys, like Islam.
Like Islam. Like a lot of people think that Islam is just like, oh, every Muslim is
Yeah, it's
like
one of those
you know what I'm getting.
one of those really negative
That's
stereotypes,
why I don't.
and
That's why I don't care about fucking politics, man.
yeah,
Because
there's
that's what shit leads to.
there's like a lot of these negative stereotypes about just particular religions or particular ideologies, and everyone just uses it to bash each other, and I'm just like, what's the point? What's the point of doing that? Like, if you want to make fun of someone, at least have a good joke. Have a good joke. It's like in Australian culture, yeah, the way we joke about things can be quite maybe out there because that's the way we've always joked about things in our culture. But we always do it because we expect the other people to joke back at us. Like you want to, it's like we'll joke about someone. Like I remember this Gabriel Iglesias video. Uh, like he's a very good comedian. I think he's like a American or like Mexican or something. He's Spanish speaking, I think, as well. He's got some kind of Spanish heritage, I think, or Spanish speaking heritage. And he made a bit of a joke about how he came to Australia, like, and because he's a big dude. He's a big dude. He was out in the water, and he said someone was like calling out, going, "Oh, hey, look at that! Look at that! Look at that guy out in the water!" Like, kind of like making fun of his weight and how big of a dude he was. And and Gabriel Iglesias was like, "Oh, you're talking about me," sort of thing. And it's just a joke. It was a joke about, yeah, okay, the joke might not be the best joke, but he expected
I don't know.
he expected they expect him to come back with a joke to them, sort of thing. Because in Australian culture, it's like everyone jokes about everything. Like we joke about people when it comes to their race, to everything. We joke about everything, but we do it in a way that it's like we expect people to
That
joke back.
doesn't. We do it in a way that doesn't make them feel like,
Well,
oh, he's racist
yeah, like
and
we're not
everything.
joking in a way where it's like we hate you. We're joking in a way where it's like, hey, you can poke the fun at us. You can poke fun of our culture, whatever, and we do the same to you because it's just a
That's
common.
comedy.
It's kind of like a common
That's
courtesy in a way. It's like a common courtesy. Like, hey, we like we'll poke fun of something about your culture, but you can do the same to us because we don't care. Like we have a very laid back, don't care sort of attitude. It's like you want to poke fun of our culture, do it. Like we don't care. We're not going to be offended. Like if someone was offended by it, I'd be like, okay, well, hey,
let's
I
face
won't make
it.
that joke again. I don't hate on religions, but to me, Islam is the purest religion. All other religious books, Bible, etc., have been altered by humans and rewritten several times, but for Islam, it's the purest religion because it's the word of Allah. It was brought down by Angel Gabriel to Muhammad. Peace. That's what I love about Australians. They just don't care. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, and like, yeah, everyone can have their own opinion based on what religion they follow and what practices in their daily life, they do, as long as it's not impacting the lives of anyone else, as long as everyone can freely choose their own destiny. It's like that's what I always sort of live by. It's like when I was growing up, like, yeah, my dad's Catholic, and then my mum doesn't follow any religion. But I was always taught myself that I was taught by family, like mainly my mum, saying, hey, we want you to have the choice in your life of what you want to follow. And that's completely up to you. You don't have to follow what we've learned. Like, if you, it's like, that's why I went to a religious school as well. I went to a Catholic primary school and a Catholic high school because they wanted me to learn about
Hmm.
religion, even if I didn't follow it. They wanted me to learn about it so that I can be
Yeah, and
exposed
in
to
our
that and
school,
respect it.
and in our schools here in the Middle East, religion is compulsory. What I mean
Yeah.
by that is there's like in the Middle East, like we all know that there's preschool and kindergarten. Like they don't talk to you about religion and
Hmm.
everything at first, at
Yeah.
least until elementary, primary, middle, high school, and everything.
Yeah.
That's where they start talking about
Yeah.
Allah and
In
everything.
in a Catholic primary school, or at least in Catholic schooling in general, like religion was compulsory. Like it was a compulsory subject, and we did learn a bit about other religions as well in high school. Like,
Yeah, but
but in
unfortunately, in the Middle East, it is compulsory. So
yeah, uh, let's see. But yeah, it's like in primary school, like we would be taught, because our primary school is like our elementary school, basically. Our primary school would always teach us like basics about the Catholic religion, like we'd read chapters of the Bible and learn and study that sort of stuff. But but then in high school, like at least for me in a Catholic high school, like they didn't push the whole sort of like, yeah, you still had to do religion, but you would learn not just about the Catholic religion. Like you would start learning a little bit about texts from Islam or texts from Buddhism, and kind of learn like what similarities they all had together with the Catholic religion. And you would sort of learn a bit, like you would learn and research those different things and speak about the different points. And
yeah,
but yeah, and
excuse the
then
noise in the background. Actually, excuse the noise in the background if you guys
that's
could.
all good. Same with me. My mother used to be a member of the church, and my father isn't religious, but they gave me the option to choose my own path. Yeah. In the Naval Academy I attended, we had religious studies and we got taught about every religion, but for some reason, never about Islam, which is part of the reason why I found Islam and began to research and eventually follow it. Yeah, that's cool. It's like, yeah, it's like for me, I don't follow a religion because I've just never been closely aligned with religion. But at the same time, I've always been taught to respect everyone else's religious viewpoints. Like, I respect some of my friends' religious viewpoints and what they follow. And I don't, and if I, and like, I will maybe sometimes out of curiosity kind of want to learn and question different things, and they tell me about it. And I like to know these different things so that I know, like, like different religious events or what they mean or what brings people together over those different things. But yeah, it's like in Australia, like most people celebrate Christmas, and funny enough, in I've known a lot of like Muslim families in Australia also celebrate Christmas because it's become not just an event surrounded by just Catholics or Christians in general. It's become a an event that's broadened across to others.
Well, don't get your hopes up just yet with that shit, because there's still cases when people be like, it does, like, get Christmas out of here, like something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there are still, like, I know some Muslim families that still don't celebrate it, because it's not a Muslim sort of event. But but there are some families in Australia that do celebrate it, because they've sort of gone, well, hey, all Australians celebrate it, not just Catholic families. Like everyone celebrates it in Australia, because it's not, they're not associating it with the religious factor. They're associating it with just being the time of giving, like a time of bringing family together, and a time of like just buying something for your relatives to celebrate, like the family. And and like most families on Christmas will go around and just see their family and exchange gifts. Like that's basically what
Hugging and
it's
kicking.
it's like in Australia, Easter was a just a like sort of Christmas, was a Christian or Catholic event, but because it was associated with the religion. But then it extended out to everyone because it became a time of like, hey, Easter bunny, chocolate eggs. You can go and like you can do Easter egg hunts with the family, and you're just giving each other chocolate and stuff. But yeah, but it all does come down to choice. It's like you don't have to celebrate those events, even if you're not a religious person. You don't have to celebrate those things. But even if you are non-religious, you can celebrate those things.
Like for instance, Ramadan, it actually is like how should I describe it? Like a time. Well, it's not like Christmas. Like we all,
Yeah,
everyone has to fast every day at like it's pretty much a holiday about fasting and shut
yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah. So yeah, Windows 11 is absolute ass at the moment. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, guys. So don't worry. Like Imperial will find a way to
I'll find a way to
fix it.
fix it if I can. I am a bit of an IT sort of guy, somewhat, so I can try and figure it out. But yeah, so I'm currently at the moment I'm suspecting it's either a GPU or CPU related issue, because what seems to happen is like the PC will sort of like freeze up a little bit, like you'll start really like freezing up stuff. And I actually got to see that firsthand this time with the stream. And because I started noticing things were running slower, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? So I actually tried to prevent the crash, but I couldn't. So the crash still happened. And yeah, if I was a tiny bit earlier and if I actually got to see with like Task Manager or something what was going on, I probably could have prevented it. But I don't have all the foresight to know. So yeah. But either way, we are back. Things are
We
running.
are back, and
So
now let's continue what we left off.
yeah.
Shall we, Imperial?
Yeah, like we were talking a little bit about religion somewhat, and how like basically how like I guess in Australia, and the differences like of being taught religion. And yeah, it's like someone's like Zen says here, that's how it should be. People think Muslims don't like Jesus or believe in him, but he is a big part of the Quran and was a prophet of God. Respect religions even if your beliefs don't align. Exactly. That's exactly true. Even if our beliefs religiously, or even if you're non religious, still respect religious values that exist. Like, there's still many different things that religion can teach people, whether you believe or not. And it's like, I've always been someone that has looked at religion and gone, hey, it's been a big importance in history, it's been a big importance in how the world functions. Maybe these days, whether you believe or not, maybe it doesn't have as much of a high value as it used to in those times, but it's still affects the way that people think. It still affects the way that people live their lives. And it still plays a big cultural importance around the world. It still has many different things that just are part of today's world. So I've always been of the belief respect it even if you don't believe. And that's, I think, how it should always be. Respect it even if you don't believe. Respect everyone else's religions and who they are, and go about your day. It's like in Australia, like I said, like Australia is probably like people have used the term that Australia is one of the most successful multicultural nations in the world, and I think that is true. I do genuinely think that is true. We have a lot of people in Australia who have different values, different religions, all living together. And well, yes, there's always been cases of some kind of hate. That's, I think, always going to be bound to happen, whether or not. It's always going to happen. There's always going to be some maniac out there who will always hate. But when you put those differences aside, people function as people. People function as normal human beings and live together. Like, I've had friends, and I still have a lot of friends in all my life who have been very different religious values, very different cultural values. My first best friend I ever had, who I still talk to this day because I did reapproach and talk to him again in recent times, was half Indonesian. And
Hmm.
we were in primary school, we were best of buds. We always hung out together. I got to meet his family, and his family met my family. Like, we got on very well with each other, and we still talk from time to time. It's like, I don't know. I think they are Catholic. They're a Catholic, half Indonesian family. But they had lots of Indonesian heritage, and they were very unique people that I would never have got to know otherwise. One of my friends was Chinese, one of my friends was Indian. Like, I had Samoan friends, I had many different friends from all different backgrounds, African, whatever the case is. And I think that just shows that whether you believe in their culture or not, as long as you respect their culture and beliefs, you can get on with anyone. Anyone whatsoever. Like, there's none of this whole sort of need to be like, oh, like, you're only going to associate with your own people. That's not true. I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I respect all religions for realsies. Like, it doesn't matter if you're like Christian or whatever the fuck. Like, do what you want,
Yeah.
for real.
Don't let religion and culture get in the way of being able to be friends with anyone else. It's like you can respect their culture and their religious beliefs while still being friends. Whether you're from a different religion, whether you're from a different culture. It's like you don't have to be in your own sort of ethnic playground, if you want to call it that. It's like you don't need to be in your own ethnic playground. Like, it's like I've been friends with many different types of people, like from different cultures and different religions. Like, and that's how I was always brought up. Like, even though I went to a Catholic primary school, I was friends with many different cultures. I did see a lot of friends, like a lot of other groups of friends, all hang out with very much the same types of people. But my group of friends was probably one of the more unique ones in primary school. We were all different ethnicities, different cultures, and we all hung out. We didn't see that as a barrier to us being able to hang out. We were just like, hey, you're a cool dude. Let's hang out. Like, that was it. And yes, we were probably some of the most picked on people as well. But we didn't care. We didn't care. We were just like, hey, we're just friends. We're hanging out. And then in high school, yeah, I didn't have as much, if you want to say, cultural diversity, because in my high school there wasn't really much cultural diversity in my high school. I found a lot of them were just mostly white, but I think that could have been because maybe just because it could be partially because of the area you live in. It could partially be because the price to go to a Catholic high school is quite expensive for a lot of families. It is expensive to go to a Catholic high school. Uh, but my parents could afford it, so they wanted to send me there because it was one of the best schools in the area. And then and because they didn't really trust the public school system in my area because it kind of was a little bit dodgy, you could say, in some aspects. The public school system's a bit dodgy in my area.
Bless you.
Bless
No
you, man.
sneeze.
But yeah,
Thank you.
so like, but I think just in general, like, you don't need to be in your own ethnic playground. You can hang out with whoever you want. Culture wise, religious wise, you can hang out with whoever you want. You don't need to be in your own ethnic playground. It's like that's what I'm calling it because I think there's a lot of people that do tend to just stick to their own, and I think that it's like a lot of the criticisms with multiculturalism in Australia is that a lot of the same cultures and religious groups kind of supposedly hang out in their own ethnic playgrounds. They don't hang out with the locals, if you want to say that. With the locals, they kind of just hang out with their own ethnic playground. And I'm just like, well, there could be reasons for that. There could definitely be reasons for that. And maybe that's because they don't feel comfortable with hanging out with the typical average so-called Aussies, because maybe they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel like they're included. But once they get over the barrier of not feeling included, they will start interacting with you. They'll start integrating and becoming like part of everyday life. It's like when I was overseas, the one thing when I was overseas in Belgium and the Netherlands, like sort of going around that region, the one thing that always made me feel at odds was language. There was that language barrier because I was like, I don't speak French, I don't speak Dutch, and I felt alone somewhat. I was like, well, I don't know how to communicate with these people. But once I got over that, I was like, I felt comfortable because I knew there were other people that did speak English, so I felt comfortable. But it's like if I was trying to live in those countries, language would be a huge barrier. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. I'd be like, how do I talk to people? Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true, bro.
So you got to feel like you can be included. And I think that's one of the barriers of multiculturalism at first is like you got to try and learn the culture. You got to try and learn how you can fit in. So, yeah. School price, the Naval Academy I attended was 7K every term. Damn, $7,000 every term? Wow. I think my parents were paying 3 to 4 thousand, maybe 4,000 a term when I was going to high school. But yeah, the Catholic school system or the religious school system in Australia is expensive. But I find, at least in my area, it was really good education because the public school system in my area is just mostly kind of shit, to be honest. At least in my opinion. But there are many good public schools out there. I was the same way when I went to Dubai. I didn't speak a lick of Arabic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
It's like when I was
Yep.
yeah, it's like, but like I got a decent education, and at the same time I wasn't bullied too much. Like in primary school, I was bullied to shit because I had this one bully every single day, always constantly going after me. And that's when one day Zach the Bros came in when sort of around the time when I met him, like when I was in the fourth grade in primary school. Like Zach the Bros was in fifth grade. He comes over, he gets up to this guy, and he's like pinned him against the wall, and he's just like, "You ever mess with any of my friends again, you're gonna get it." And then he stopped. So because I'm not a tough dude, I didn't have that sort of strength in me, and because at the same time I was probably a bit of a loner, I will admit. In primary school, I was a bit of a loner. I was like, as much as I had my group of friends, like I was oblivious to everything else around me. I was just like, nah, I'm just here chilling. And I didn't know how to really fight back because I don't have that sort of physical fight back attitude. And I still don't. I don't like getting into a fight. I don't like getting into any sort of verbal arguments. I like just being me, being on my own, and being with my friends and hanging out, having a good time. But in high school, like, I didn't change any of that. The one thing I did change, I sort of said to myself, is I want to be more open about how I feel about things. I want to be more vocal. Yet that kind of landed me a school suspension, though. So that was my problem, though. That landed me a school suspension one year because I was a little too vocal. But in primary, I got bullied a lot. But in the Naval Academy, I wasn't. The first week, I got bullied by this dude, but then I realized I had the height and size difference, so I fought him. We both got suspended for 3 days, and now we're the best friends. Oh, that's a good story, though. That's a good story. But yeah, like I was the type of person in high school, at least. I wanted to be more vocal about how I felt about things because for such a long time I was just frustrated because this one year, I think it was in the eighth grade. No, ninth grade. I was in the ninth grade. The seventh and eighth grade, I just stayed pretty chill. I just stayed chill and did my thing. The ninth grade is, at least in Australia, the ninth grade is associated with being a bit rebellious because everyone likes to be a little bit rebellious at that time. Because, like, you're 15, 14, 15, you're kind of getting a bit rebellious at that stage. So, in the ninth grade, I was frustrated because my math scores were completely getting bad. I was doing bad in math. So I got a tutor. I got I think a year 11 or year 12 guy uh, to basically sort of help me with my math. And we worked on it. I actually tried to study. But then we did the test. We did the final test. I think this was our final year exam for this class. And I failed it. I failed it even after all the hard work that I put in. Everyone else did bad too, don't get me wrong. Apparently everyone in the grade did really bad. And because like I felt like I put more effort in, I felt like I was like, but why did I do so bad? Like, while everyone did bad, why did I do so bad though? I put all the effort in, I got a tutor, I did everything that I possibly could think of with the help of my parents and everyone, and I still did bad. So, what was the type of thing that I would do? What would I do to feel very angry with this? Well, I took it to social media as a dumb teenager. Took it to social media, called people out, and that's what landed me in the shit. That's what landed me in the shit as a teenager because I felt so frustrated. I was venting, and then because some of my friends or mutuals from school had seen it, they stirred it around. So this was the counter effect to this. I went back to school the next day. One of my friends was like, "Oh, you're gonna be so in trouble, man," and I'm just like, "What for? Like, what did I do?" And he's like, "Oh, you know that Facebook post? They're gonna really get you on that one." And I'm just like, "Why? It's an opinion. It's like I didn't see it as that bad. I didn't see it as doing anything really wrong." But so they were just like stirring it around. And then, funny enough, one of my former English teachers had heard about it as well. And I'm just thinking to myself, how did they know about it? Like, they don't follow me on social media. They don't have any knowledge of what I do. So this English teacher came up to me and said, "You should delete that
I'll tell you
social
this
media
much.
post."
I'll tell you this much. I've had
Yeah.
the same ordeal as you, but not as bad as like whatever the fuck. I had a
Yeah.
habit of actually making videos on people.
Like, yeah,
Yes,
like
this
just
was pre
venting on social media and like, yeah.
well, venting on YouTube, not social media.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have Instagrams and
Yeah. But
but
okay.
like
But
but like
yeah.
here's the thing though. Yeah, here's the thing though.
Hmm.
I made some video on someone in my class and
Yeah.
like like I think it was called "Fuck You, Shabib," something like that. Message to Shabib or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of a bit of an idiot, honestly.
Yeah.
In first time doing YouTube and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, so this English teacher told me, "Oh, you should delete that Facebook post now." And I was like, "You know what? Like, you're right, sort of thing. I should." So what I did was, but I didn't have my phone with me that day because like I didn't carry my phone all the time because I was in high school. I didn't really need to, and I forgot my phone that way.
Of course, I mean, of course, if you carry your phone in the Middle East, you're essentially. Uh, how should I put this? Like, I didn't get a phone with
Yeah.
me in the in schools. Getting
Hmm.
going with your phone
Yeah.
in Middle Eastern school is considered as a tool of
Yeah.
distraction.
Yeah.
Like,
In
there's a
high
lot,
school in high school in
and I
Australia,
believe
it's
that.
kind of the same. At the time, it was kind of the same mentality. It was like you shouldn't have your phone in class. You could still bring your phone to school, but you couldn't use it in class. And but I said to my English teacher, "Oh, like I've got no phone data. I can't do it right now because I didn't." So I said, "Oh, I'll go
Okay,
home. When I get
so,
home, I'll
so I'm
delete the
going to.
post." So
So I'm just gonna. So I'm really just gonna take a shot in the dark and go
hmm.
ahead and say someone fucking hacked your account to post that shit.
No, I posted this. I posted this. What I'm saying, like I posted
Oh,
this back in the day. So I then I then basically I went home, I did delete the post. And I thought that would be the end of it because I did the right thing. I deleted the post. I did what the teacher asked. However,
no,
but
but
no.
no.
2 days go past because the weekend goes past. Monday, I go to the school. And
And the principal, and let me guess, the principal said, "Oh, you still didn't delete the video, you
no. I
lawyer."
deleted it. But what I did
No, no, I'm just
was,
saying. No, I'm saying in case if the teacher just like
oh
oh I
no.
don't believe you, you still things still up.
No. So the day goes by relatively normal at first. Everything seems normal. I'm in class. I then get told, oh, there's a PA announcement. The PA announcement has basically, wait, no, was it? No, not a PA announcement. Basically, one of the messenger kids comes in with the slip of paper for me to go to the office. So I go to the office and I have to take my bags and shit with me. So I thought, oh, maybe there's an emergency at home or something. Maybe maybe I have to go home early for some stupid reason. So I go there and then but then I sort of think again. I'm thinking, wait, no, maybe they're talking about the Facebook post or something. So then so I then head there and I get sent.
Okay, I hope
Okay.
it wasn't one of the frat base. Hey, how you going? There's gonna be a PI at
No, no,
10
no, no. So
something like that.
I get in there And so I get sent to this room. Uh, the vice principal was there, and he was a good dude. The vice principal was a good dude, actually. I got on with him very well all the time, and also my mum was in the room. So
What?
so this was going to be
That's gotta be.
so this gets into a pretty serious sort of thing. So then I'm in the room, and I'm just like thinking to myself, okay, I know what this is about. And then he's like, oh, like, we heard about all that stuff that happened with the Facebook post and all that. And like I just apologized for it basically. I said like, hey, look, like I was frustrated, I was angry because I was. In all genuineness, I was, because I thought I put all my effort into to do all this stuff, and then I just felt very frustrated. So basically then they had to give me a 2-day suspension from school. So I couldn't go to school for 2 days.
Okay,
And
that alone is reasonable.
yeah, I
I've been
mean,
suspended.
like
Like
he,
I have been suspended once for
yeah,
school, and you're not gonna believe this.
yeah,
I actually get
yeah. I remember you told me. You told me one of those things. Uh,
yeah, yep. Imperial knows why I got expelled from one school,
yeah.
and it was that. So I'm not gonna say on
It
stream,
was
but
not a safe for work thing. So
exactly.
yeah, but yeah. So pretty much, so he's just like, look, I don't want to have to do this, but I have to, and I was like, oh, okay, like. So then I come back, and then the 2 days later, and I had to apologize to the teachers as well. And then, like, I tried to be the most genuine I could be about it, because I was like, hey, like, look, I was frustrated in all seriousness, and they're like, oh, but you could just come up and ask for help and all that sort of stuff. But in my mind, I was like, well, I didn't really like one of the teachers. So I didn't really want to go ask for help
And
from one of the
besides,
teachers.
and this is just like real shit. Principals are the biggest pussies in the world.
Oh, not no. I wouldn't say so. At least at the schools that I went to, no. But pretty much, uh, in this case, like I had to apologize to these teachers. I did that, and that sort of ended that saga. But it was just the weirdest sort of thing. And at the same time, I saw other people that I knew post this worse shit on social media than what I did. I posted something pretty tame. In looking back, I posted something pretty tame. These people posted much worse, and they never got any penalty for it. And they were the bad kids. They never got any penalty for it. And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, hey, like as a teenager, I was thinking like, why are these people not getting punished? Like I did something and I'm the good kid and I get trashed on. But then the funniest thing was when I came back to math class that day, nearly the whole class like just clapped for me, saying, you stood up for yourself, man. You did a good job. You stood up for yourself. You taught those teachers. And I'm just like thinking to myself, why praise me when I just did something pretty normal? Like, I was just thinking, why praise me?
Like like uh, like that's a
What, because
real
it's
to
the
be
good kid
continued
doing it?
moment.
Because
Anime outro. Cut it out.
because
Cut to
it's
the anime outro.
because the good kid is standing up and having an opinion. I don't know. All my principals have been nice, mainly in high school, since I was close friends with this kid. Damn,
No,
nice.
no, no. Like I don't mean all principals. I mean some principals can be bitches. Like they don't want to help
Oh,
out the
yeah,
little
yeah.
guy and shit, and they just want to
There are
praise
some
the
out there.
fucker.
Also gonna read this top one. Once my entire class failed their science exam in year 7 because the teacher messed up and gave us all the AP biology exam meant for year 12s going into university for biology. Holy shit. So they gave out the wrong exam to these year 7 kids?
Fuck me, Alpha. You've had some fuckers in your school, I'm pretty sure,
Damn.
Alpha.
I mean, I'm still wondering to this day why I failed my year 9 exam in math. Like all my math results after that were just bad still because I just sucked
You know
because
what?
I didn't get the
I'm
support that
gonna
I needed, I
go
felt
on.
like.
I'm gonna just go ahead right out here and say it. Fuck math. I failed. So what? Like, what are you gonna do?
I
What
did
the
better in
fuck you gonna
English.
do?
I did much
I
better in
did.
English.
I did. Yeah, I did much better in English as well. Like, Why do you think I talk like
Yeah.
this now? I speak
Like
English and all that.
in English I still was getting at least in year 9 and year 10, I was still getting like C's. I was still getting good results in English. And I had and sometimes I had a good time doing English. I actually liked doing English sometimes. But I wasn't great at it. I was just average at English, but I sucked at math. And then when I got into year 11 and 12 because I didn't do ATAR, I just did like the non-ATAR pathway and didn't do the higher school certificate exam. Like I did that path and I did English studies. I got A's in that. I got A's in English studies. I did good in that. And I had a great time doing that because I had a good teacher, had fun. It was a good class. Like that that was so much better. But and I actually felt happier in year 11 and 12 than what I did in year 9 and year 10. Year 9 and year 10 I just hated it. Like some people just act like assholes all the time.
Yeah,
But like year 11 and 12 like people were good. I had a good time, got on with as many people as I could. Like yeah, I still kind of kept to myself near the end because I just was like, well, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. Like I didn't make as many friendships as I wanted to in high school, but I still just vibed and in my study periods as well. The study periods were so good in year 11 because in year 11 like I had Zach the Bros in my studies as well, even though he was in year 12. Like, we had our study periods line up together, so it was so much fun. So, me and the Bros were hanging out, Jono was hanging out with us, and another friend of ours. We were all, like, we all just vibed in study period because we didn't have any study work to do. We finished all our study work, so we were just like, yeah, let's just freaking play card games in study. Like, we just had a good time.
yeah, just mixing card games and studying. Maybe you could get something out of that.
It was so good.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I loved geography and history. Best classes ever. Yeah, I loved history class. In I didn't get to do history in year 11 and 12, but I did history in year 9 and 10, and I loved it. I had a good teacher for year 9 and 10 history stuff. Luckily in high school, I got an average of B's and a few C's, despite the fact I rarely did large study sessions. I never did any study sessions. I was just like, I was the guy that was like, fuck studying. Like, I hated studying because it just felt like a bore to me. And I just didn't enjoy studying. Like, I would maybe study on one or two subjects and try and actually learn a few things, but that was only if I really had interest and wanted to.
Well, here's the
But
thing. Here's the thing. With English, I don't care if I don't like my parents don't care if they're just like, oh, I don't want to study English. Like
mm, yeah, like my
English,
parents.
always fucking passing English, man.
Yeah, yeah, I always passed in majority of my subjects, so that's why I never studied. I was like, well, I'm doing all right. So except math, I just got bored with math, and I just sort of lost motivation for math. So I was just like, well, I'm just gonna just try my best, even if I don't study. Just try my best and see what I get. But feel no, I made some good friends in high school, but when we graduated, most of us lost contact after prom. Besides a few of us, yeah, I kept in contact with a couple of people. Like most of my high school friends, I still am friends with to this day because a lot of them were older than me. So we stayed in contact, and we still do. Like me and the bros, we were primary school friends. We stayed in contact right through high school, and because he went to the same high school as me, and we continued being friends to this day. Um, with a few of my other friends, like Jono and stuff, yeah, we still hang out together. He still is included in our group stuff sometimes. Um, so most of my high school friends I'm still in contact with, but I didn't really become friends with many people in my year group though. I just sort of I most of my friends were in the older year groups. So like when I was in year 7, they were in year 8 and we were friends. So we stayed friends. Uh Sadly, same only subjects I studied for was biology and chemistry. That stuff blows. Yeah. I I'm still friends with the friends I met in primary, though, around the age of 5. We just didn't go to the same high schools. Yeah, most of my primary school friends, we just split off because we all went to different high schools and we never stayed in contact, really. Like, even if we did, we'd only, like, stayed in contact for, like, a year after high school. And we just didn't really sort of vibe as much as we used to. So I still talk to like my old best friend to this day. Like we did lose contact for about 5-6 years, but now we're talking again, and we sometimes will on the occasion like meet up on the rare occasion. Uh, but yeah, my high school friends, we stayed friends because we were just tightly knit as a group, so we just stayed as a group. But some of them have kind of gone off and done their own thing now, but we're still all relatively in contact and together, and we still sometimes will go, hey, let's meet up at this place. At our year 6 leavers party, everyone was crying because they would not see each other anymore. Meanwhile, I'm the only one in my year not going to the same. Oh, they were crying because they would see each other. Meanwhile, the only one in my year not going to the same school. They all attended the same high school. Made no sense. Yeah, I remember my year 6 leaving party. We did like this big sort of disco at school in this hall, and yeah, like we did this big sort of disco, and me and my friends like we sat at the table and we were just kind of chilling, and we were just like, oh, like yous are going to the same high school, you're going to that high school, I'm going to this high school. We're all just like, oh, we're probably not going to see each other for a while, sort of thing. But we were like, oh, let's all hang out again soon, hopefully. And it's kind of like the meme on online friends. It's like yeah, doesn't talk again. like oh, let's play a game again sometime. The last online 2 years ago. Like it's the same sort of thing. It sucks when you don't see your friends again. But yeah, yeah. Do you have any high school stories or anything, Aztec? Like
Oh, well, not a whole lot, man. I don't have any fond memories. Just I don't have any
no
fond
fond
memories like
memories
the
of high
people in the
school.
US and shit. Unfortunately, no, dude.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it can be like that. Like last online 12 years ago. Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, like it's like most of my friends, a lot of them that hung out together always had lived in the same street. Like a lot of them lived in the same street as each other, so they could always see each other. Me and my friends, it was like, oh, if I want to go see my friends, it's like a 5-10 minute drive to go see them, and
Oh wait, actually, hold on. I had fucking fond memories. Yeah,
yeah,
I get fucking hit with the ball in the face every time I play football.
oh yeah,
Like not American football, but football.
oh
I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
like soccer sort of thing.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes. I that's right.
yeah,
I get Sometimes I
Yeah.
get fucking busy. Sometimes I get fucking crying.
Oh yeah. I remember I showed you handball, how we played handball and stuff. Like you have the four courts and you have the little tiny ball and you're just bouncing the ball into different.
Listen, man. The
Yeah.
only fun memory of school that I fucking have is me fucking crying and getting hit in the ball, getting hit in the face with the ball. That's the only
Damn.
fucking memory I've had.
I still
That's
remember
that's it.
I had the bros over one time. I think I was like 14 or something. And I brought him over and we for some reason I think we decided to play soccer or something. And we played soccer in the front yard. And
Oh
then
shit! Turn off my camera.
like we played soccer in the front yard and we played we played soccer in the front yard and I I kicked the ball and it hits his nuts and I'm just like
Oh Lord.
and
I
he's just
hope that
like
doesn't happen. I really hope that that fucking shit doesn't happen. Oh, and
oh
also, I got fucking hit. I got fucking hit in the nuts in school and PE as well. I don't fucking remember. Last time I checked, yeah, I got fucking hit in the nuts.
oh I still but I we played so bring on the handball. Yeah, handball is such a good sport. Like it's such a fun game.
These these were broken anytime someone tried to hit me and hit my ball and hit the ball in my face.
Oh yeah.
I was the goalkeeper, you see.
Oh yeah,
I was the
yeah.
goalkeeper, you see.
Glasses would definitely be like just a common casualty in sport. But
Common casualty in fucking school, man. Like,
yeah,
thank
common
God no one
casualty in
bullied
school,
me for
yeah.
that shit. Like,
But
it's like, oh, okay, he's wearing glasses, no big deal.
yeah,
Something
like
like that.
one time this dude from the spot we were sitting at, I was like up in the sort of courtyard kind of walking down to the spot. This dude, he comes out, he throws the handball flying at like probably who knows how fast that thing would have been, buddy, coming at me. And it hits me in the nuts. And it's a far distance. Like, imagine getting a handball thrown at you from like maybe 5 to 10 meters away. And that thing flew right at my nuts. And then it hits my nuts. And I'm just like, I'm just there going, holy shit. Like, that freaking hurt. That most pain I had ever experienced in my nuts. And I just stood there and I'm just like, oh, like, but then, and like, I didn't collapse to the ground, but I thought, okay, well, I'm going to bloody sort of stand down for a moment. And I was like, oh man, this is painful. Getting hit in the nuts from like 5, 10 meters, this handball freaking flinging at me at such a fast speed. And these things are like maybe that big. Like, they're like not a huge ball. But that he flew up my nuts, and I'm like, damn, like that's painful. Luckily, I never had another handball at the nuts again, but that was freaking painful. But for context, I was born in the UK, so when I moved to Australia, some of the lads were playing rugby, and so I asked if I could join in. Me being used to the rough tackling we have in the UK, I just took this guy flying off his feet. Everyone was like, hey bro, what the fuck are you doing? You don't tackle, we only do touch rugby here. I felt so bad. Yeah, because in
Oh
schools
my
in
God.
Australia, any sort of tackle sport is not allowed, usually. So
Of course. Of
but
fucking course.
In the UK, they must be a bit more rough, I'm guessing, with the tackle sport and that. But
Yeah, because here's the thing, though. This guy right here, this gentleman here, he
yeah,
was born in Australia, but he's originally from the UK and half New Zealand,
well,
half
yeah,
United
well,
Kingdom.
my family is from the UK and New Zealand, but I was born here, so
Yeah, so, but he was born in Australia. Anyways,
yeah.
continuing.
Dude was like
Moving
half
on.
the size of me, wasn't pretty loud. No, I wouldn't be freaking pretty. Uh,
Holy moly.
yeah, like you just
Holy
freaking, you're
fucking
tackling
shit.
this dude, you're freaking like just bloody bringing him flying off his, yeah. That's,
That is
yeah.
nuts, Alpha. That is so fucking nuts. No cap, man.
Hey,
That's
yeah,
nuts, man.
yeah, that's something. But yeah, like But my group of friends in high school, we were pretty wacky as well. We were a pretty wacky bunch of people. We were just like we had
Yeah.
all sorts of characters,
Uh, you
but
know,
yeah,
I've had conversations with some people in my class. It wasn't really long,
yeah, like
but
short conversation.
like it's like small talk, small
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
small
talk.
talk
That
setting.
every student's worst nightmare. Fucking like me.
Yeah. Yeah, like just having a dude coming up to you and like talking about something, you'd be like, "Bro, you don't even talk to me, man. Like, what's the deal?" But
Like
thankfully, the Naval
I had some
Academy.
people, and I did befriend some people
Hmm,
while I got home from school, like on the bus. You know what I mean?
yeah, you talk to
Like I
some people
told
on the bus, and
you, like that.
thankfully, the Naval Academy decided
Oh,
to adopt a rugby team, so I fitted in well there. Got to go to scrimmages and tournaments. Nice, nice. Yeah, like I in my sort of later years in primary school and early high school used to play touch rugby, and like I played it for like probably I played it for 2 years. So I played it from like 2012 2013. So between getting from primary school to high school, and the first year was good. The first year was good because we were a Division 2 team, so we weren't the top division, but we were like the second division team, and we had a good team. We come, I think, fourth in on the ladder out of seven, so we were like a middle ground team. We were like pretty average team. The second year, we got moved up to Division 1. So we got moved up to Division 1, and it was quite unexpected because we were like, I was just thinking, but we were like only an average team. We weren't like a top team in Division 2. Why are we being moved to Division 1? So, and then the other teams were like, they had like some really high class players. Some of them had like professional rep team players on their team when they shouldn't have. They were like, they were, a lot of them had rep team players, and we were like, isn't that illegal to have rep team players? Because we were told that was illegal. And we were just
huh.
like, we were going, we're going to be severely outclassed by these players. And what do you know? We were. Every single game we played, even when we got some of our best players, we lost every single game. We were coming last. And some of us were like, no, we can't do this anymore. Like, we're not motivated because we keep coming last. We put our effort in to train and be good, and we sucked against every single team in Division 1 because we weren't built for Division 1. Like, we didn't have time to train to get to Division 1. We were just sent to Division 1 right off the get go, and we were just like, so I lost motivation in the game. I was like, why play this game if I can't even get one win? And the closest we
That is
got,
true.
like, the closest we got was a tie, a 0-0 tie, and that was against a really good team. So we got close. We got close to getting a win against one of the best teams, but it took a lot of effort. We were like bloody trying to do the best we could. Your team was going through their Friday Night Lights arc. Yeah, it sucks when teams do that though. A few people we went up against, they had dudes that looked like 30. God damn. Yeah, we had a team that we had some big dudes to go up against. And like I'm just this skinny dude going up against these big dudes. And I'm just there
Yeah,
going
like
like
the fucking
they could
NFL
freaking
head
just
ass
tackle me and
fucking
I'd be freaking down. And I got bloody tackled by this big dude, and I'm just like, geez, man, like. And then at one moment, I nearly got this try. I nearly got this try, but this big dude freaking stopped me, and I'm just like, man, I just want to get this freaking try, but I couldn't do it. But I haven't played tackle
yep.
football since. Like, I haven't played, well, not tackle, but like touch football ever since. I haven't played it for like I haven't played it since like 2013. So, but I did play it for 2 years. Let's see. I mean, I'm a big dude, just over 6'2", but this one dude was massive, made me look like a midget. Holy crap! Like 6'2" is pretty tall, and I'm like 5'7", I think. I'm like 5'7", but it's like, but man, like, yeah, I was like going up against these big, huge dudes, and I'm just like, they're going like what? But it was nuts. It was nuts. Like, I mean, I could have played on for another year possibly. I think Paz is around 6 foot. Paz is tall. Like I've seen him IRL. Like he's tall. He's a tall dude.
Wow.
He's tall, like, and a bit lanky. Like I'm pretty lanky myself, but like Paz is like he's got the height, and he's got the height. But yeah, like yeah, I mean I probably could have played touch football for another year, but like we're going like in Division 1, I just felt out of place in Division 1. Like I played in the first year, I played sort of around the center, so I was like a link that would go between the center and the winger. But then in the second year, they decided, hey, let's just put Imperial as a winger. I don't have the speed. I didn't have the speed for a winger. I mean, I could run relatively fast, but I didn't have the confidence to be a winger. But they were like, nah, we're gonna put Imperial as a winger, and I'm just like, I didn't want to play that position. So that was another bad thing. Like, why put me in that position when I'm like, yeah, I'm a skinny dude. I can run fast. You could pass me the ball and I could probably get there. But I didn't have confidence as a winger to go, yeah, I can outpace these big dudes and get a try and get those winning points. Like I didn't have that sort of ability. So I didn't feel confident in that position. So I sort of said one day when one of my friends who I knew in primary school who was playing on the team, I sort of said like, "Oh, hey, like why not put him as a winger and see if he's good and put me as more like a center or link and to work in conjunction with that." They put him as the winger and we started getting tries. We started getting points on the board. So I was like saying like I think that would be a better sort of thing to do. But they still wanted me to keep playing as the winger. So I don't know. I was a hooker. We had this one winger dude was like 5'5" and ran like Sonic. His speed was insane. Yeah, I I could run relatively fast, but like I think one thing that I've always struggled with is stamina. I don't have the stamina to keep it up for a long period of time. So, like as much as I could run fast, I would probably be basically having to recoup my energy within like 5-10 minutes after doing like a 10-minute sort of session being running fast. So, and I still struggle with stamina to this day. Like stamina is one thing that I'm not good at. So I've got to try and build my stamina. And my stamina is probably a lot worse now than back then. So yeah. But yeah, like we've talked about I guess football in Australia.
Yep.
Like,
Damn.
yeah. Is there any
Well,
unique sort of sports in the Middle East that you guys really play
well,
or
pretty much, nothing too unique. Well, we do have soccer. It's an international.
yeah.
Uh, it is. There is really no sport. There is horse riding, but but it's on TV and shit.
Oh yeah, horse riding.
But I don't know any other sport. Well, you could look it up online
Hmm.
about that,
Yeah.
and you'll be surprised on how many shit there is.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of upcoming sports that we don't really know about yet that are like sort of popping in the scene, like really coming out.
I wouldn't
And
say I wouldn't say that. To be honest with you, I really wouldn't say that.
Hmm. You never know though. Like in Australia, like we we all love talking about cricket all the time and rugby and like cricket's just one of those sports that's like I don't really like watching cricket. It's just I feel like it's just kind of boring. Like unless you're playing it, maybe it's good if you're playing it, but cricket's one of those sports that everyone raves on about in Australia, especially because it's like, oh yeah, cricket in the backyard with the boys sort of thing, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not huge on it, but rugby is huge. Like whether it's the NRL or whether it's like the rugby union or even just AFL, which is another sort of thing itself, like another sort of type of football. Then like yeah, everyone talks about soccer as well. People do talk about, I'd say people do talk about tennis every once in a while because like there's that time of the year where like tennis is
Well,
always the thing.
there are people in the Middle East that travel from their countries all the way to non-Arabic countries to play those other sports.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, we don't have baseball. We don't have
yeah. I don't think
what
Australia's
other
huge
American
on
sport? American
baseball.
football.
We don't really have
Yeah,
much American football
American
either.
football is almost non-existent in the Arab because it's American football. Like, what's next? Arab football? The
Yeah.
football is going to be a piece of kebab and shit.
Yeah, yeah. Like we don't talk much about American football. We don't talk much about baseball either here. Like but like cricket's a weird one because cricket while it's played in Australia and New Zealand, like it's also played in India and Pakistan. And like I think it's just a very common thing in the Commonwealth sort of countries,
Yep.
at least in the UK, UK, India, Pakistan, Australia, New Zealand. Like it's just common here. But yeah, cricket is fun to play, but I hate playing it for competition. Yeah, cricket's fun to play like if you're playing it in the backyard sort of thing. It's just because you can kind of make your own rules a little bit with
Like,
cricket. But
like
like I've got a cousin that
competitive.
plays tennis, and he's traveled to other countries to play tennis. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's but yeah, like sport's just one of those things. I'm not huge on sport. Like the only time I'll be huge on sport is like if my local NRL team gets into the grand final or the finals, and me and the bros will have our rivalry when we go like, oh, he supports the Eels, I support Panthers, and it's like, oh yeah, let's go to the game and watch these two play sometimes. But that's the only time we care about it, or at least that's the only time I care about it. When me and my mates played it, instead of trying to get a home run, we'd see who could knock the wickets off. Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those games. Like, I think handball should be a bigger thing, to be honest. Handball should be bigger than what it is, because handball is just one of those, like, school ground games that is fun to play anytime. And like, hey, we have a former prime minister who goes around going, "I'm the handball champion. I'm gonna go challenge the kids to handball," and I'm just like, "Hey, that's freaking cool. That's something that's cool." You got a former prime minister going, "Yeah, let's go around and play handball. International Handball League. Let's start it. Let's start International Handball League." I'd back that. I'd sponsor that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like then we can get Aztec into Australia and be like, "Hey, let's play handball."
You know what? Honestly, I actually want to do a whole hell of a lot of shit in Australia. So I'm thinking I stay around in like 2 to 3 months.
Hmm.
So we have more time to do fun stuff with you and Zach and Pezlo. Shit that we
Yeah.
can do all together.
Yeah, International Handball League. Let's start it. Let's teach Aztec the ways of handball.
Yeah.
It would be so fun.
And who knows? And who knows, man? Like, maybe there's gonna be fucking live footage. Like, my family would see me just be like kicking ass and sports and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. if you were to come to Australia for a few months, yeah, you definitely would need a visa. That's true.
That's
I think you need a visa.
great.
I think you need a visa either way to come to Australia because Australia is quite
Oh,
strict
that's
on
fucking.
visa rules.
Oh my god.
You just got to apply for a visa. It shouldn't. If you're applying to be a tourist, it shouldn't be too hard. I wouldn't think. Like you should get approved pretty quickly, but you don't do it and you don't apply for
What?
a visa until the time you're really starting to plan your trip. So,
Good. Good.
and at the same time, you got to make sure you save enough money to be able to come here. So that's a
True.
hard one again, but you can come on a tourist visa around 2 weeks wait. But yeah, application process is easy. Yeah, it's like a 2 week wait
Oh,
to get a visa. Yeah,
actually, you know what? You know what, Alpha? You gave me a very good reason. Like that because it's like 2 weeks. Like, okay, so you say it's 2 weeks, but does it really depend? Like let's say I applied for it, and they said, oh, it should take 2 to 3 business weeks for it to process. After processing,
yeah.
like to give me a fucking
It's
I
like
don't know.
waiting for a passport because when you apply for a passport, at least in Australia, usually it's expected to take about 6 to 8 weeks usually to get a passport approved. But
Hmm.
yeah, so it's just like you're just basically applying for a visa to be able to come here. And yeah, if it's 2 weeks, then yeah, for a tourist visa,
Huh.
that should be all right. But
You know what?
yeah, if you're
Might
coming
as
for three
well.
to four months, you're gonna definitely need to save money
Oh, definitely.
because
Because I
things will be
think,
expensive. You'll have a shock when you come here and
because
be like,
I
"Oh shit!"
think, yeah, because I think at this point, flight prices in the KSA are getting pretty expensive. So, okay,
Yeah,
let me just look this up on
flight
Google real
prices
quick.
will be
Two,
expensive for a little bit.
2 months in Australia price.
Yeah, because you got to think about uh, where you're staying, and you also got to think about how much you're going to spend on food, how much you're going to spend on just living in general while you're here.
Hmm.
Just
You know
be
what?
thankful
Yeah.
you're not applying for permanent residency. It took my mother and father almost a year to get their visa passed through
You know
because
what,
of my
Alpha?
dad's
You know
record.
what, Alpha? I'm well grateful. Because like I could never permanently apply for Australia, and I had a talk with my dad on this one.
Hmm.
I could never apply permanently to be a permanent resident of the country. Like
Hmm.
I could never do that, to be honest with you.
Unless he wanted
Because if
to
I were,
actually live in Australia permanently, then it would
yeah,
be
yeah, I would have to. Then I would have to get a job in the
lots of
country. Then I would
hurdles.
lots of fucking paperwork to
Yeah,
fill out and like stuff like that.
yeah. Coming here
So
for a trip,
yeah,
like a tourist sort of trip, it's usually pretty good. Usually pretty good. Like,
hmm. Okay, I'm just trying to look at the thing and
yeah.
typical cost. Wait a
But
minute.
I think what we'll do is we'll probably end the podcast here. We'll talk a lot more about different things in another episode, but we can also
But that
talk
was
off
fun.
stream more about Australia and stuff. But
Yeah. But we had a lot of fun actually.
yeah,
So guys, get ready for episode 2 or episode
whenever
1
that
part
happens.
2. Whenever that happens, we'll be ready to talk more and
Yeah.
shit like that. But on that note, Imperial can do the honors. It's his channel at this point. I don't even know how he ends the stream.
Yeah, I mean, these Team Collar podcast episodes, it's always good to get people on, and it's always good to have them come back for an episode later down the line, which we're going to start trying to do some of those. Probably every 10 episodes, I reckon we'll start doing like comeback episodes for guests. So, yeah, like these are a monthly sort of thing. So, usually there's another episode each and every month. Next month's episode is going to be a return episode. We're going to have two guests coming back, and they're people like that you have seen in the past, obviously, on this podcast
Yep.
series. One
Yeah.
what, and I'll give a hint. One was from the last episode, and one was from the first episode we did. So
Okay, this is okay.
so there's your hint.
Figure those out, ladies and gentlemen. If you can figure this, the person who figures it out will win a huge giveaway. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm
No, I'm just kidding. But
joking.
whoever figures it, yeah, we're all just joking around. There's no such
Yeah,
thing as giveaways,
yeah.
on the Imperial channel.
Whoever
But
whoever
whoever figures
wins,
it out,
you get a cookie. No, I'm joking. No, you get a big sticker that says that says good job.
hmm,
But
I guess.
yeah.
Well, I
But
guess
either
so.
way,
But ladies and
that's the
gentlemen,
end.
I will be seeing y'all in the next Cola podcast.
Yeah.
Well, for with me obviously and the two guests, I'm really excited for whenever that happens.
Yeah. If you guys
So
haven't followed Aztec, make sure to go follow him on Twitch. I've got the link in the chat so you guys can
yeah,
check
and you
him
can
out.
also follow me on Instagram, all that shit. I'll try to get active, but first I got to get my driving stuff set up on Crew
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. And also
So
if you
like,
guys like want to join my Discord or anything like that, you can check out my links as well. So they're all there. But either
mhm.
way, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. I do apologize for the technical difficulties we had earlier, but what I will do is this will be all edited. So this will be edited together and will be uploaded on YouTube as a VOD, so you guys can go back and check on it. And yeah.
Mhm.
So either way, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next episode. And of course, thanks to Aztec for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's grateful for the
Yeah.
very first episode. Again, I'll consider the broadcast a pilot. This will be my first episode in history.
Yeah.
We'll see in episode 2 if I can even make more history.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yes.
we'll see when Aztec joins back in. It'll probably be sometime in the future. But yeah. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.